Get me to Friday right now, because this week we have got ourselves a monster game. Friday night football, and this week it's South Oak Cliff and Duncanville in a game that deserves every bit of the hype. This game is always a big deal and always a spotlight for premier talent, but after South Oak Cliff's upset win over North Shore last week, the excitement for this one goes to another level. But SOC will have to bring it once again because Duncanville is a perennial state title contender in 6A for a reason. All they do is reload. Players to watch in this one for SOC, it's their stud running back, Mikhail Trotter. He had a huge game against North Shore, almost 200 rushing yards and a pair of TDs. He and Levon Morton helped SOC nearly rush for 400 as a team. For Duncanville, it's senior defensive end KJ Ford. The edge rusher is a four-star prospect committed to Florida after he received 38 scholarship offers. He is the latest in a long line of elite pass rushers at Duncanville, and it's his turn now. Watch the game live for free Friday night at 7 on WFAA+. Download WFAA+ to your TV for free. And after the game, check out Friday Night Football 5th quarter for all the night's highlights from all around North Texas. 10:40 Friday night on WFAA+.
Good Friday night, everybody. I'm meteorologist Jesse Hawila, live tonight on WFAA+. Friday Night Football, and the live game tonight will have play-by-play announcing with our own Mike Leslie. It's South Oak Cliff Golden Bears versus the Duncanville Panthers in Duncanville. There will be a chance for thunderstorms tonight. We'll have isolated thunderstorms across North Texas. I do expect sporadic lightning delays for Friday night football games across the area. Not necessarily this one, kickoff at 7, but I do expect at some point we'll see a delay or two come into the newsroom here at WFAA because we will have scattered showers and storms across the area. Another game that you can find on WFAA+ tonight, DeSoto Eagles versus the North Crowley Panthers in Crowley. Kickoff at 7 p.m. It's going to be a warm and muggy start to the game. Temperatures do cool off, though, by the late evening, so let's say halftime through the end of the game, third and fourth quarters, we'll still have that chance for some isolated showers and thunderstorms across the area. So while it's not going to be a widespread thunderstorm activity where we're going to see numerous Friday night football games getting delayed, I fully expect to see a couple of them have lightning delays. Here's the look at the timing as we go through tonight. Scattered thunderstorms. This is 7 p.m. It doesn't necessarily mean right here, but this is going to be the axis of where the thunderstorm chances will be. Kind of along 380 into the Dallas-Fort Worth area, up to the Red River. Games that, let's say, Cleburne, Waxahachie, and farther south should be totally fine tonight. It's really this northern half of North Texas where delays would be most likely. This is 9 p.m., scattered showers and storms. 10 p.m., that'll continue. By this time, the games are coming to an end if they're not heavily delayed, of course. Then by midnight, scattered rain becomes more widespread overnight into Saturday morning. But that chance of severe weather goes down. We will have a chance that a couple of thunderstorms through the afternoon and evening could bring some gusty winds or some small hail. Very low chance of that. It's a level 1 marginal risk across North Texas. So just keep that in mind. Have ways to stay alert. Remember, not widespread rain tonight, but scattered thunderstorms will cause a couple of delays. That appears to be likely as we go through this Friday night. Enjoy your games tonight. Have a great rest of your weekend.
Get me to Friday right now, because this week we have got ourselves a monster game. Friday night football, and this week it's South Oak Cliff and Duncanville in a game that deserves every bit of the hype. This game is always a big deal and always a spotlight for premier talent, But after South Oak Cliff's upset win over North Shore last week, the excitement for this one goes to another level. But SOC will have to bring it once again because Duncanville is a perennial state title contender in 6A for a reason. All they do is reload. Players to watch in this one for SOC, it's their stud running back, Mikhail Trotter. He had a huge game against North Shore, almost 200 rushing yards and a pair of TDs. He and Levon Morton helped SOC nearly rush for 400 as a team. For Duncanville, it's senior defensive end KJ Ford. The edge rusher is a four-star prospect committed to Florida after he received 38 scholarship offers. He is the latest in a long line of elite pass rushers at Duncanville, and it's his turn now. Watch the game live for free Friday night at 7 on WFAA+. Download WFAA Plus to your TV for free. And after the game, check out Friday Night Football 5th quarter for all the night's highlights from all around North Texas. 10:40 Friday night on WFAA+.
Good Friday night, everybody. I'm meteorologist Jesse Hawila. Live tonight on WFAA+. Friday Night Football, and the live game tonight will have play-by-play announcing with our own Mike Leslie. It's South Oak Cliff Golden Bears versus the Duncanville Panthers in Duncanville. There will be a chance for thunderstorms tonight. We'll have isolated thunderstorms across North Texas. I do expect sporadic lightning delays for Friday Night Football games across the area. Not necessarily this one, kickoff at 7, but I do expect at some point we'll see a delay or two come into the newsroom here at WFAA because we will have scattered showers and storms across the area. Another game that you can find on WFAA Plus tonight, DeSoto Eagles versus the North Crowley Panthers in Crowley. Kickoff at 7 p.m. It's going to be a warm and muggy start to the game. Temperatures do cool off, though, by the late evening, so let's say halftime through the end of the game, third and fourth quarters, we'll still have that chance for some isolated showers and thunderstorms across the area. So while it's not going to be a widespread thunderstorm activity where we're going to see numerous Friday Night Football games getting delayed, I fully expect to see a couple of them have lightning delays. Here's the look at the timing as we go through tonight. Scattered thunderstorms. This is 7 p.m. It doesn't necessarily mean right here, but this is going to be the axis of where the thunderstorm chances will be. Kind of along 380 into the Dallas-Fort Worth area, up to the Red River. Games that, let's say, Cleburne, Waxahachie, and farther south should be totally fine tonight. It's really this northern half of North Texas where delays would be most likely. This is 9 p.m., scattered showers and storms. 10 p.m., that'll continue. By this time, the games are coming to an end if they're not heavily delayed, of course. Then by midnight, scattered rain becomes more widespread overnight into Saturday morning. But that chance of severe weather goes down. We will have a chance that a couple of thunderstorms through the afternoon and evening could bring some gusty winds or some small hail. Very low chance of that. It's a level 1 marginal risk across North Texas. So just keep that in mind. Have ways to stay alert. Remember, not widespread rain tonight, but scattered thunderstorms will cause a couple of delays. That appears to be likely as we go through this Friday night. Enjoy your games tonight. Have a great rest of your weekend.
Get me to Friday right now because this week we have got ourselves a monster game. Friday Night Football, and this week it's South Oak Cliff and Duncanville in a game that deserves every bit of the hype. This game is always a big deal and always a spotlight for premier talent. But after South Oak Cliff's upset win over North Shore last week, the excitement for this one goes to another level. But SOC will have to bring it once again because Duncanville is a perennial state title contender in 6A for a reason. All they do is reload. Players to watch in this one for SOC, it's their stud running back, Mikhail Trotter. He had a huge game against North Shore, almost 200 rushing yards and a pair of TDs. He and Levon Morton helped SOC nearly rush for 400 as a team. For Duncanville, it's senior defensive end KJ Ford. The edge rusher is a four-star prospect committed to Florida after he received 38 scholarship offers. He is the latest in a long line of elite pass rushers at Duncanville, and it's his turn now. Watch the game live for free Friday night at 7 on WFAA+. Download WFAA Plus to your TV for free. And after the game, check out Friday Night Football 5th quarter for all the night's highlights from all around North Texas. 10:40 Friday night on WFAA+.
Good Friday night, everybody. I'm meteorologist Jesse Hawila. Live tonight on WFAA+. Friday Night Football, and the live game tonight will have play-by-play announcing with our own Mike Leslie. It's South Oak Cliff Golden Bears versus the Duncanville Panthers in Duncanville. There will be a chance for thunderstorms tonight. We'll have isolated thunderstorms across North Texas. I do expect sporadic lightning delays for Friday night football games across the area. Not necessarily this one, kickoff at 7, but I do expect at some point we'll see a delay or two come into the newsroom here at WFAA because we will have scattered showers and storms across the area. Another game that you can find on WFAA Plus tonight, DeSoto Eagles versus the North Crowley Panthers in Crowley. Kickoff at 7 p.m. It's going to be a warm and muggy start to the game. Temperatures do cool off, though, by the late evening, so let's say halftime through the end of the game, third and fourth quarters, we'll still have that chance for some isolated showers and thunderstorms across the area. So while it's not going to be a widespread thunderstorm activity where we're going to see numerous Friday night football games getting delayed, I fully expect to see a couple of them have lightning delays. Here's the look at the timing as we go through tonight. Scattered thunderstorms. This is 7 p.m. It doesn't necessarily mean right here, but this is going to be the axis of where the thunderstorm chances will be. Kind of along 380 into the Dallas-Fort Worth area, up to the Red River. Games that, let's say, Cleburne, Waxahachie, and farther south should be totally fine tonight. It's really this northern half of North Texas where delays would be most likely. This is 9 p.m., scattered showers and storms. 10 p.m., that'll continue. By this time, the games are coming to an end if they're not heavily delayed, of course. Then by midnight, scattered rain becomes more widespread overnight into Saturday morning. But that chance of severe weather goes down. We will have a chance that a couple of thunderstorms through the afternoon and evening could bring some gusty winds or some small hail. Very low chance of that. It's a level 1 marginal risk across North Texas. So just keep that in mind. Have ways to stay alert. Remember, not widespread rain tonight, but scattered thunderstorms will cause a couple of delays. That appears to be likely as we go through this Friday night. Enjoy your games tonight. Have a great rest of your weekend.
Get me to Friday right now, because this week we have got ourselves a monster game. Friday night football, and this week it's South Oak Cliff and Duncanville, in a game that deserves every bit of the hype. This game is always a big deal and always a spotlight for premier talent. But after South Oak Cliff's upset win over North Shore last week, the excitement for this one goes to another level. But SOC will have to bring it once again because Duncanville is a perennial state title contender in 6A for a reason. All they do is reload. Players to watch in this one for SOC, it's their stud running back, Mikhail Trotter. He had a huge game against North Shore, almost 200 rushing yards and a pair of TDs. He and Levon Morton helped SOC nearly rush for 400 as a team. For Duncanville, it's senior defensive end KJ Ford. The edge rusher is a 4-star prospect committed to Florida after he received 38 scholarship offers. He is the latest in a long line of elite pass rushers at Duncanville, and it's his turn now. Watch the game live for free Friday night at 7 on WFAA Plus. Download WFAA Plus to your TV for free. And after the game, check out Friday Night Football 5th quarter for all the night's highlights from all around North Texas. 10:40 Friday night on WFAA Plus.
Good Friday night, everybody. I'm meteorologist Jesse Hawila, live tonight on WFAA Plus. Friday night football, and the live game tonight will have play-by-play announcing with our own Mike Leslie. It's South Oak Cliff Golden Bears versus the Duncanville Panthers in Duncanville. There will be a chance for thunderstorms tonight. We'll have isolated thunderstorms across North Texas. I do expect sporadic lightning delays for Friday night football games across the area. Not necessarily this one, kickoff at 7, but I do expect at some point we'll see a delay or two come into the newsroom here at WFAA because we will have scattered showers and storms across the area. Another game that you can find on WFAA Plus tonight, DeSoto Eagles versus the North Crowley Panthers in Crowley. Kickoff at 7 p.m. It's going to be a warm and muggy start to the game. Temperatures do cool off, though, by the late evening, so let's say halftime through the end of the game, third and fourth quarters, we'll still have that chance for some isolated showers and thunderstorms across the area. So while it's not going to be a widespread thunderstorm activity where we're going to see numerous Friday night football games getting delayed, I fully expect to see a couple of them have lightning delays. Here's the look at the timing as we go through tonight. Scattered thunderstorms. This is 7 p.m. It doesn't necessarily mean right here, but this is going to be the axis of where the thunderstorm chances will be. Kind of along 380 into the Dallas-Fort Worth area, up to the Red River. Games that, let's say, Cleburne, Waxahachie, and farther south should be totally fine tonight. It's really this northern half of North Texas where delays would be most likely. This is 9 p.m., scattered showers and storms. 10 p.m., that'll continue. By this time, the games are coming to an end if they're not heavily delayed, of course. Then by midnight, scattered rain becomes more widespread overnight into Saturday morning. But that chance of severe weather goes down. We will have a chance that a couple of thunderstorms through the afternoon and evening could bring some gusty winds or some small hail. Very low chance of that. It's a level 1 marginal risk across North Texas. So just keep that in mind. Have ways to stay alert. Remember, not widespread rain tonight, but scattered thunderstorms will cause a couple of delays. That appears to be likely as we go through this Friday night. Enjoy your games tonight. Have a great rest of your weekend.
Get me to Friday right now, because this week we have got ourselves a monster game. Friday night football, and this week it's South Oak Cliff and Duncanville, in a game that deserves every bit of the hype. This game is always a big deal and always a spotlight for premier talent, but after South Oak Cliff's upset win over North Shore last week, the excitement for this one goes to another level. But SOC will have to bring it once again, because Duncanville is a perennial state title contender in 6A for a reason. All they do is reload. Players to watch in this one for SOC, it's their stud running back, Mikhail Trotter. He had a huge game against North Shore, almost 200 rushing yards and a pair of TDs. He and Levon Morton helped SOC nearly rush for 400 as a team. For Duncanville, it's senior defensive end KJ Ford. The edge rusher is a 4-star prospect committed to Florida after he received 38 scholarship offers. He is the latest in a long line of elite pass rushers at Duncanville, and it's his turn now. Watch the game live for free Friday night at 7 on WFAA+. Download WFAA+ to your TV for free. And after the game, check out Friday Night Football 5th quarter for all the night's highlights from all around North Texas. 10:40 Friday night on WFAA+.
Good Friday night, everybody. I'm meteorologist Jesse Hawila, live tonight on WFAA+. Friday night football, and the live game tonight will have play-by-play announcing with our own Mike Leslie. It's South Oak Cliff Golden Bears versus the Duncanville Panthers in Duncanville. There will be a chance for thunderstorms tonight. We'll have isolated thunderstorms across North Texas. I do expect sporadic lightning delays for Friday night football games across the area. Not necessarily this one, kickoff at 7, but I do expect at some point we'll see a delay or two come into the newsroom here at WFAA, because we will have scattered showers and storms across the area. Another game that you can find on WFAA+ tonight, DeSoto Eagles versus the North Crowley Panthers in Crowley. Kickoff at 7 p.m. It's going to be a warm and muggy start to the game. Temperatures do cool off, though, by the late evening, so let's say halftime through the end of the game, third and fourth quarters, we'll still have that chance for some isolated showers and thunderstorms across the area. So while it's not going to be a widespread thunderstorm activity where we're going to see numerous Friday night football games getting delayed, I fully expect to see a couple of them have lightning delays. Here's the look at the timing as we go through tonight. Scattered thunderstorms. This is 7 p.m. It doesn't necessarily mean right here, but this is going to be the axis of where the thunderstorm chances will be. Kind of along 380 into the Dallas-Fort Worth area, up to the Red River. Games that, let's say, Cleburne, Waxahachie, and farther south should be totally fine tonight. It's really this northern half of North Texas where delays would be most likely. This is 9 p.m., scattered showers and storms. 10 p.m., that'll continue. By this time, the games are coming to an end if they're not heavily delayed, of course. Then by midnight, scattered rain becomes more widespread overnight into Saturday morning. But that chance of severe weather goes down. We will have a chance that a couple of thunderstorms through the afternoon and evening could bring some gusty winds or some small hail. Very low chance of that. It's a level 1 marginal risk across North Texas. So just keep that in mind. Have ways to stay alert. Remember, not widespread rain tonight, but scattered thunderstorms will cause a couple of delays. That appears to be likely as we go through this Friday night. Enjoy your games tonight. Have a great rest of your weekend.
Get me to Friday right now, because this week we have got ourselves a monster game. Friday night football, and this week it's South Oak Cliff and Duncanville, in a game that deserves every bit of the hype. This game is always a big deal and always a spotlight for premier talent. But after South Oak Cliff's upset win over North Shore last week, the excitement for this one goes to another level. But SOC will have to bring it once again, because Duncanville is a perennial state title contender in 6A for a reason. All they do is reload. Players to watch in this one for Sock, it's their stud running back, Mikhail Trotter. He had a huge game against North Shore, almost 200 rushing yards and a pair of TDs. He and Levon Morton helped Sock nearly rush for 400 as a team. For Duncanville, it's senior defensive end KJ Ford. The edge rusher is a 4-star prospect committed to Florida after he received 38 scholarship offers. He is the latest in a long line of elite pass rushers at Duncanville, and it's his turn now. Watch the game live for free Friday night at 7 on WFAA+. Download WFAA+ to your TV for free. And after the game, check out Friday Night Football 5th quarter for all the night's highlights from all around North Texas. 10:40 Friday night on WFAA+.
Good Friday night, everybody. I'm meteorologist Jesse Hawila. Live tonight on WFAA+, Friday Night Football, and the live game tonight will have play-by-play announcing with our own Mike Leslie. It's South Oak Cliff Golden Bears versus the Duncanville Panthers in Duncanville. There will be a chance for thunderstorms tonight. We'll have isolated thunderstorms across North Texas. I do expect sporadic lightning.
It may well be the most anticipated non-district matchup of the year in Texas high school football. South Oak Cliff, fresh off a monster upset, goes hunting for another giant as they visit number 3 Duncanville on Friday Night Football, sponsored by Texas Dave Brazil. And with that, we welcome you inside the broadcast booth alongside the former Lincoln High and Kansas State linebacker Heckma Harrison. I'm Mike Leslie. Heckma, this game is massive. This matchup is always fun, but last week, it got dosed with lighter fluid with Sox upset at North Shore. That sent this thing nuclear.
Look, I think everyone in the state was watching that South Oak Cliff game and said to themselves, oh my God, South Oak Cliff just upset North Shore and they have Duncanville next week. This thing got ratcheted up to an all-time high after that game.
That was a win that sent shockwaves across the entire state of Texas, and it really sent shockwaves around 5A Division II because anybody that may be in Sox path went, wait, they did what?
Yeah.
That's going to be a challenge later on this year. Let's show you the highlights of how that game went down because it was a terrific effort for Jason Todd's team on their home field against North Shore. They came out and punched him in the mouth. Jaden Williams hitting Jalen Moore for the first of 3 touchdown hookups. They would connect again later, and Sock led this game at one point 35-19 on their home field, and the running game helped salt it away. Mikhail Trotter had 194 yards and a pair of touchdowns. This run in particular was sensational. No, he did not have his knee go down on that run. A thing of beauty from Mikhail Trotter, and they ran for almost 400 yards. Jason Todd's team pulling off the upset and setting up tonight, Heckma Harrison. It's the kind of win that really sends a message, and it's the kind of win that makes Jason Todd certainly feel like, okay, we're going in a very, very good direction.
No, he's got to feel really good about his team right now, going in that direction. And you talk about that running game with Mikhail Trotter. That offensive line literally plowed down that North Shore squad. And so I think for everyone that's tuned in, you know, you're going to talk about all the big names, but South Oak Cliff and their offensive line, that's what's getting it done.
Our player to watch for South Oak Cliff is Mikhail Trotter, the young man who ran for $194 and a pair of touchdowns a week ago. He ran for over 1,100, almost 1,200 yards and 18 touchdowns, Heckma, last year.
Yeah, this is a kid that in between the tackles, he is a tough runner, but also has the speed to get on the outside as well. Don't try to arm tackle this young man. You saw him spinning on the ground. Look, he's just magnificent and has really great lower body balance and strength as well. Again, when you look at South Oak Cliff teams that have made it to state, it's been because of that great power running back that they have.
Meanwhile, for Duncanville, it is their superior edge rusher, KJ Ford, a 4-star on his way to Florida.
Look, this is a kid that spent time in the summer basically retooling and revamping his body. And this is a KJ Ford that, quite honestly, teams should be afraid to face this young man. He is as dynamic as they come, but when we talk with Coach Reginald Samples about him, he said, look, he just has a defensive mind state. He is a nasty young man out here on the field. And boy, just a long list of great defensive ends that have played for the Panthers.
There you see him right here pregame. You saw the video of him over the summer working out. He has changed his body in this offseason. Rocked up, 6'4", 245 pounds, absolutely ready for his senior season. And just the latest in a long line of really elite defensive ends that have played here, Heckma, at Duncanville.
I mean, not only him, but just the names of the guys. You just go through those state titles, the guys that got close to winning. It has always been Duncanville's defense that has led them and catapulted them to the state titles.
We've got the coin toss happening right now down on the field. The captains are down there at the center of the field, and we are sorting out who will have the opening kickoff. The captain for South Oak Cliff, Jamarian Phillips, Heckma, the only captain on South Oak Cliff. He calls the coin toss. Looks like Sock has won the toss and deferred to the second half. So it will be Duncanville, Heckma, that has the football first.
Yeah, I think that's the way that in South Oak Cliff wanted it. They want to get their defense out there and allow them to dictate the pace here early. For Duncanville, this is the first game of the season for them. So I anticipate them to come out, maybe look a little rusty because they haven't had any time on task.
So we talked about the defensive end, KJ Ford. He's not the only one for Duncanville. They also have Landon Barnes on the other edge, two of the top 20 defensive ends in the country in the senior class. They are the elite pass rushing team in America with these two kids, but they're going to go against a Sock offensive line that can bring it as well. You got Cortavius Tisby on the left side. You've got Brian Swanson, a 4-star prospect on the right playing right tackle. That is, if you're a football fan that likes to watch the trenches, oh my goodness, is that going to be fun to watch? Those two left and right tackle for South Oak Cliff against the defensive ends from Duncan.
And boy, do they have their hands full here tonight.
Yeah.
And that's going to be, like you said, if you love trench warfare, you're getting it tonight. And talking with Coach Todd over the years, that was the one thing when he continued to run into Alito and Coach Buchanan up there. Coach told him, hey, man, you got to get your offensive line together. And you can tell over the years that is something that he has been building. And, oh, man, does he have some really good guys on the ends for his offensive line.
The other big story for the Duncanville Panthers as they start off this 2025 season, and they did not play a game last week, by the way, is the junior quarterback Max Denson. One of the great names. This is an all-time football name, Maximus the Great. King Denson. King is his middle name. Maximus the Great is his given first name. That goes by Max Denson. He's taking over as the starting quarterback for Duncanville, replacing the 5-star Keelan Russell. A huge, huge void to replace. And then they have a number of wide receivers that are incredibly gifted in their own right, but they've all got to pick up the slack for DeCorian Moore being gone, another 5-star.
Hey, with a name like that, I don't think that kid will end up being a mechanic. That is a name that is destined for greatness, and shout out to all the mechanics out there. But I'm just saying, this guy has the greatest name in Texas high school football. And I'm telling you, look, you can chunk a rock and you will hit a Division I athlete. This is, if you like football, high-quality football, you're going to get it here tonight.
This is going to be a good test for Denson against a really good South Oak Cliff defense. They've got dudes all over the place. Corday Houston is going to be chasing him down all night tonight. But Duncanville, their coaching staff, they like what this kid can do. He's a dual threat player. They like what he can do with his legs. They do also like his ability to spin it. There's a really good test, though, in front of him tonight in his very first varsity start. These two programs are filled with kids that have played against and with each other for years since they were little kids. They play together again tonight. Sock and Duncanville on Friday Night Football after this. End zone shot. What a catch! Catch a live broadcast of every play of the biggest high school football games. Next week, Salina versus Gunner. Stream the broadcast free next Friday night at 7 on WFAA+.
Thanks, Delkus. the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delcus.
WFAA has a legacy of changing the system.
Most recently, we did a story on ankle monitors and how they don't work, and how criminals are committing crimes with ankle monitors. And yeah, there's legislative change coming.
Our 2-year investigation caught the attention of state representatives. Now, it's a crime to cut off ankle monitors.
I want people to see things that we need to hold people accountable for.
What's up, football fans? It's the best time of the year. Every Monday morning, we want to hear what you have to say about the game. Join me, Mark Istook, Glenn Strutch-Smith, and Rebecca Lopez for the Call-In Show, Monday mornings at 11:30.
Sponsored by K-Post Company.
Friday Night Football, sponsored by Texas de Brazil.
Non-district football doesn't get any better than this. South Oak Cliff and Duncanville, two of the premier high school football programs in the state of Texas, head-to-head on Friday Night Football. We welcome you back to Duncanville's Panther Stadium, Reginald Samples Field. Now officially the name. We'll talk more about that as the evening goes along, but we are just about ready to kick this football game off. South Oak Cliff and Duncanville about ready to run out their tunnels, and Heckma, we are ready to roll.
Boy, this is it. The anticipation obviously went up 1,000 after the victory over North Shore, but these are two teams, and I feel like Coach Todd has been feeling like he's been inching closer and closer to beating the teacher in Reginald Samples. This is the first year, Mike, that you can actually say that it feels real.
It would be a dramatic, remarkable double dip if South Oak Cliff could beat North Shore and Duncanville in consecutive weeks. When you talk about Texas high school football, with all due respect to what North Crowley did a year ago, you look back over the last decade of Texas high school football, it's Duncanville and North Shore as the very two first programs that you would mention. They are the brand names. They are the standard in the state. North Shore and that team on your screen right there, the Duncanville Panthers. If South Oak Cliff, a 5A Division II program, can beat both of those teams to open their 2025 season, there's nothing they can't do.
Yeah, this is, you pull that off, you may as well just skip district play and just get in front to the front of the line of the playoffs. I mean, look, right now, everybody talks about the job that South Oak Cliff has done over the years, and literally for Coach Jason Todd, the job that he's done, continuously building this program up. Boy, it feels a victory here would feel a lot like 88 Carter.
Two-time Todd, as they call him, looking to change that name to three-time Todd this year, the architect of the greatest inner-city dynasty in Texas high school football history, and he's just getting started.
Yes, he is. He is just getting started, and I think he feels like this is a team that absolutely, his offensive line, obviously, when you talk to him, he just gloats about these young men. His running backs, he definitely loves these guys.
It will be his defense, though, that comes on the football field first. All the buildup to get to right now, and you can just feel the energy in the stadium as people get cranked up for this one. About 800 of you with us right now on the WFAA YouTube channel. Let us know in the comments where you're watching from, who you are tuning in to see tonight. That man right there on your screen, the Godfather, Reginald Samples, one of the elite coaches in the history of Texas high school football, the 6th winningest coach in state history, and still at almost 71 years old, Heckma Harrison, going strong. He's not going anywhere.
No, not going anywhere, and it's so humbling to see his name down on this field. They named it after him, I believe it's 2 years ago, when the name change happened here in Duncanville.
Sock ready to kick it away. Cesar Olvera will send it deep. Trenton Yancey, Isaiah Beal deep for Duncanville. It is time at Panther Stadium. Almost. Whistles on the field and a stoppage for our officiating crew. They have them facing the wrong way.
wrong direction. Let's switch this the other way around. Hey, this is there was a line. There is literally, if you see right over here, there is a line to get in. Right here under these trees over here.
Oh, yeah.
There is a line to get in the stadium on both sides.
So Carl Davis and his 7-man crew get him flipped around, pointed the right direction. The wind tonight, the weather tonight, potentially a factor. We're hoping the weather stays away, but it is humid at the very least. Not a ton of wind to speak of, but a little bit in the face of Cesar Olvera, the senior kicker. He's got a strong leg. They feel like when he's kicking field goals, he's got range out to about 48. So he can certainly pump this thing deep if he so chooses.
It's not extremely hot tonight, but it is humid.
Over the last 4 years, these two programs have combined to win 4 state championships. Two of the brand name programs in Texas high school football head to head. And we're underway with a kick to the sideline from Olvera that bounces out of bounds outside the grasp of Trenton Yancey, the stud junior wide receiver. And out comes the Duncanville Panthers offense led by the junior Max Denson, replacing the legendary Keelan Russell, the 5-star now at Alabama. A year ago, attempted just 4 passes, Heckma completed just 1. Big moment for this young man right now as he walks on the field wearing that number 3.
Yeah, Denson can't even come on the field thinking about who he's replacing, and that's the same for these wide receivers. That would be a mistake because, man, Zach Turner, number 1, is absolutely amazing as a wide receiver. Young man, 6'3", 215 pounds, probably should be a tight end, but he's so fast, he's so strong that they have him lined up on the outside as a wide receiver, and I'm telling you, every matchup that he's in, it's a nightmare.
6'3", 215, the 3-star on his way to SMU right there in the slot on the right side of the formation. They'll flip it here to Ace Theus, another 3-star prospect on his way to TCU, and he's banged down at the 44, a pickup of 4 on the first play from scrimmage. There you see the Duncanville offense on your screen, 43.6 points per game under the guidance of their offensive coordinator, Jason Lavender. The SOT defense led by Kyle Ward, one of the best defensive coordinators in all of Texas high school football. Right up the middle for Braden Arnold, the sophomore, and he's close to first down yardage. It'll be 3rd and 1.
And you talk about that matchup up front as the Duncanville Panther offensive line had to be retooled completely. So this is a brand new 5 out there.
3rd and 1. They've got to get right to the midfield stripe to move the chains. Denson alone in the backfield. QB draw. First down and then some. Deep into Sock territory and with a blocker out in front. Max Denson. Welcome to Duncanville. Inside the 20. First down.
And you see right here, this is a design run the whole way. Max Denson seeing that lane open up. Great job by the junior quarterback, taking what he can get and getting out of bounds.
33 yards on the pickup. 1st and 10 at the 18 for Duncanville. Swing pass near side. That ball is loose on the deck. They will rule it incomplete. Zach Turner, a ball he would tell you he should have caught.
Yeah, words to the wise, catch the ball first before you make a move. I think C.D. Lamb would say thank you.
C.D. Lamb would
to that.
Preach that tenfold after last night. C.D. Lamb was at the facility all day today working on the jugs machine, trying to make up for what happened last night in Philadelphia. The Cowboys wide receiver caught 7 balls for 110 yards, should have had 10 catches for about 200. Up the middle here for Arnold, the sophomore. First year as the starter, replacing Jaqueline Armstrong as the primary running back.
I'll tell you what, great job by Tremel Mentor, number 8 on the outside, keeping his containment, but also squeezing that hole down to get that tackle. That's the kind of alignment assignment defense that you're going to have to play against this speed from Duncanville.
Big third down spot here, 3rd and 8. They've got to get to the 8-yard line to move the chains. Denson to the air for the first time. Now steps up and he'll run for it. He's got the first down. Yes, just barely to the 7, and he'll move the chains. It's 1st and goal for Duncanville.
Great job by Max Denson, recognizing that he didn't have anyone open, but he tucks and runs into a wall of South Oak Cliff defenders. It's a great drive so far for the Panthers coming off of that penalty on kickoff.
Duncanville with a lot of new faces. Denson replacing Keelan Russell. The entire receiving corps trying to replace DeCorian Moore, the 5-star that's now at Oregon, but a nice first drive here. They throw it quick in the flat here for Turner to the pylon. Zach Turner is in. Touchdown Duncanville. Right down the field in 2 minutes.
And the only thing Zach Turner does different is he secures the catch before he makes the move. And at 6'3", about 215 pounds, you see, man, that is an immovable object coming right at you.
The 7-yard touchdown hookup, and Duncanville's got its first points of 2025. Max Denson to Zach Turner, the SMU commit. 6-0 Panthers, and they look to tack on the extra point with Mitchell Watts. Whistles and flags prior to the snap.
Before the snap, false start, number 84,
And Mike, I don't think that this Panthers team needed a confidence boost coming into this game, but it's got to feel good to score on your first drive in your first game play.
Jason Lavender's team going right down the field. Big 3rd down pickup. Couple of times. Extra point is up and through from Mitchell Watts, and it is a 7-0 start for the Duncanville Panthers. Max Denson to Zach Turner, and we're underway tonight on Friday Night Football. End zone shot. What a catch!
Catch a live broadcast of every play of the biggest high school football games. Next week, Salina versus Gunner. Stream the broadcast free next Friday night at 7 on WFAA+.
Back in Duncanville, South Oak Cliff looking to find an answer. Duncanville, preseason number 3 in the state rankings, and that holds true again tonight. You see North Crowley on your screen as well. They host DeSoto tonight, Duncanville's district mate. But Duncanville, number 3 in the state, expected to be a state championship contender once again. DeSoto and North Shore, rather shockingly, Heckma, both fell out entirely of the top 25 rankings after their losses last week. They play tonight. Beg your pardon, DeSoto plays North Crowley tonight. North Shore playing back down in the Houston area. But first time in a very long time that neither of those programs are in the top 25. Kickoff fielded at the 22 by South Oak Cliff, and a return of 6 yards out to the 28-yard line by Nate Coleman. And South Oak Cliff will get to work right there. Jaden Williams, the junior, their starting quarterback here in 2025. And Heckma, he was very impressive in week 1 against North Shore. This kid can spin it.
Yes, he can. And he's calm, cool, and collected. And the way that this kid plays, obviously, he is dependent a lot on Michael Trotter. When you have a guy that can keep you balanced like that, it makes those short and long throws easy for a quarterback, and especially coming into an environment like this.
They scored 39 a game a year ago, scored 41 in the opener against North Shore. What can they do against this Duncanville defense led by Ramel Borner, another of the best defensive coordinators in the state of Texas? From their own 28-yard line, a handoff up the middle, and Trotter's got nowhere to go. Immediately in the backfield is Ja'Cory Johnson, and it's a loss of 3.
And I mean, Ja'Cory almost took the snap. That's how quickly number 99 was off of the ball. Look at him right here literally in the backfield. Nothing you can do as a running back when the defense is in your face like that.
So 2nd and 13 now for the Sock offense. Williams a week ago, 120 passing yards, 3 touchdowns. Hands it off once again for Trotter. And again, nowhere to go for the senior. He was able to earn back 1 of the 3 yards that he lost, but it's going to be 3rd down and 12 for the Golden Bears.
And, you know, this is incredible by the Panthers. Starting off this drive defensively, you're getting pressure with your 4 down linemen. The first 2 tackles made, number 11, Dylan Williams, and number 99, DeCorey Johnson. Those guys are just shooting that B gap.
Big 3rd down here for South Oak Cliff in the early going. Jason Todd said a big key to last week's win over North Shore was that they started quickly. They started fast in that football game. Can they tonight? Williams stepping up in the pocket. Holds up and fires deep over the middle, but he underthrew a wide open target downfield. He had Torrentigue running free, but couldn't put enough on it.
And me and you, we're sitting here and we're watching Torrentigue come open on the crosser. And it looked to me like Jaden Williams, when he stopped to make sure that he wasn't past the line of scrimmage, that was going to be an easy pitch and catch. Surprised that it came up short, wondering if that ball was actually tipped.
It may have been because he saw Teague running free, and it didn't make sense for that ball to check up as short as it did. But South Oak Cliff forced to punt it away. Nate Coleman back to punt it. Snap goes over his head and into the end zone. Can he get back on top of it? He'll just punt it through the back of the end zone. That will be a penalty, but ultimately the result will be the same. It's a safety either way. It's a penalty in the end zone, or the result of the play was a safety as well. I don't think Coleman realized he had as much time as he did. He may have had a chance to grab a hold of that football and do something with it. But that was the safe play.
Yeah, it was. Just in that situation, you're trained to just mitigate disaster. All right, let's try and kick this thing out of the back of the end zone. Maybe don't give up a touchdown here.
This is going to be a discussion with Reginald Samples on how he wants to handle this. Carl Davis, our crew chief tonight, leading a 7-man crew. Again, either way, the result was going to be a safety, and it is indeed, and it is 9-0 Duncanville.
Not the start that you wanted if you are South Oak Cliff. Now you have a special teams miscue, 2 special teams miscues that have cost you points. I think that kickoff, kicking it out of bounds, cost you field position to start things off.
It certainly set Duncanville up well. I wonder if that was by design, though, if maybe South Oak Cliff doesn't feel that their kickoff coverage team is where they need it to be, perhaps. And they just said, hey, kick it out of bounds and let's be safe, and we'll give them the couple extra yards of field position, but not risk giving up a big return. Sometimes you do see coaches do that, especially early on in the season as they're working out kinks like that in the special teams. But either way, at the very least, a miscue on the punt with the snap going over the head of Nate Coleman. Coleman punting it out of the back of the end zone to be safe. It is 9-0 Duncanville with the lead, courtesy of the safety.
And this is the danger zone of that safety. Now you're kicking from your 20.
Yeah.
And you are kicking to one dangerous man, and Ace Theus.
This kickoff will be in play. Theus from his own 29-yard line looking for a crease. Bottled up well and slung down at the 41-yard line. But Duncanville with 9 points early, not even 4 minutes into this one, and an opportunity to go hunt for more.
Yeah, defensively right now, Coach Ward is probably telling his guys, go ahead and settle in. Telling you, both of us were down on the field before kickoff, and you could cut the tension with a knife. If you don't think these guys know that this is a big game, boy, come again.
The South Oak Cliff players, the South Oak Cliff coaches, fired up for this opportunity. They know what it would mean to win each of these 2 games to start off the season. Duncanville with the football at the 41, drive number 2 for Max Denson. Slings it near side, incomplete. Behind his intended target, Emmanuel Ellison.
And I'll tell you what, Denson had a little bit more pressure on him, in front of him, from the Bears defense. Great job up front by number 99, Jadarian Jones. 6'2", 290. I'll just go ahead and add 10 pounds to that. That is a 300-pounder right there.
He's a big boy in the middle for sure.
Yes, he is.
Pressure again here on 2nd and 10. Denson able to get the corner, then fires deep downfield for Theus. It's incomplete. No flag on the play. Good coverage deep downfield. In a spot where South Oak Cliff has an injury tonight. Marcel Gibson, the senior Clemson commit, not playing tonight after he broke a finger against North Shore a week ago. So Colin Cottingham getting some time. You'll see Sir Kerry Williams a little bit. That was, I believe, Isaiah Udom that was deep downfield in coverage on that one. It is... So the flag was on Duncanville. Sock is declining the penalty. The flag was on Braden Arnold, the running back. It'll be 3rd down and 10, so Sock taking the result of the play and trying to get a stop here on 3rd and 10. Duncanville's got to get into Sock territory to move the chains at the 49. Nobody jumped offside. Pressure again on Denson, and they get to him. Down goes the junior, the Sock pressure. 3 straight plays. This time they get home.
And I said it, Jadarian Jones, watch him in the inside as the pressure is coming. They are around him, and 99 gets to Denson. You knew that Coach Ward was going to bring some pressure. He needed to. Big time 3rd down for South Oak Cliff, and way to get off the field.
Cody Smith, the sophomore, bringing some pressure as well. He's playing a much bigger role tonight because it's not just Gibson that is hurt, but also Jamarian Phillips, their senior starting linebacker, 3-star Baylor commit, the only captain on the team. That is how this young man is thought of in this program, but he's hurt and will be out for most of the regular season. Look at this return from Levon Morton up the far sideline. Morton inside the 30, lowers his shoulder and stays on his feet. Levon Morton with the house call for South Oak Cliff.
Ruh-roh. That's how you get it done. We said the special teams miscues. You come back with something like that and wait to answer by South Oak Cliff. Morton setting up his blocks perfectly. And here you thought the Panthers had him. And he just lowers his shoulder, redirects. That is a perfect response from the Golden Bears.
78 yards on the punt return for a touchdown. The extra point is up and through from Cesar Olvera, and it is 9-7. One more look at Levon Morton. Oh, hang on. Before we go away, there's a flag on the extra point. We'll double check this real quick. 12 men on the field for Duncanville. Penalty declined. It is 9-7. One more look at Levon Morton on the punt return for a touchdown for South Oak Cliff. What a journey for this young man to the house. 78 yards, Heckma, and South Oak Cliff with a big-time answer.
Well, it was, first of all, it was a big-time boot that they got out to Morton, and he just set it up perfectly special teams-wise. He had his blockers out in front, and we talked about this being the first game for the Panthers. So this is a first, basically, real-time action for their special teams units. And, boy, this is Morton making them pay. Walking the dog here in Duncanville.
So it's 9-7. 5 minutes and 10 seconds into the football game. South Oak Cliff had a little bit of a slow start, a couple of miscues early. The punt snap that went over the head of their punter that led to the safety and a 9-7 lead for Duncanville. But the special teams atoning in a very big way. Levon Morton with the 78-yard punt return for a touchdown. And it's a 2-point game.
Okay. So Olivera Only thing he has to do is keep this away from Ace Theus. Put this defense back out on the field.
Theus is the deep man at his own 9-yard line. They also have Trenton Yancey out there. They'll send this one deep. Theus is going to signal for, I thought he signaled for a fair catch.
He did.
And they will blow the whistle. He tried to take off and run with it. But yes, fair catch called for. That is tantamount to a touchback, and it will come out to the 25-yard line. So back to work goes Max Denson and this Duncanville offense. The first drive was great. Second drive clammed up real fast with the pressure that Sock put on him.
Yeah, I was going to say that second drive had a lot to do with what Sock was doing defensively. And I am keeping my eyes on this junior, Jadarian Jones, because the pressure that he is presenting right now up front, these guys have no answer. Number 52, Preston and Norris and Elmo have their hands full.
1st and 10 from the 25 for Duncanville. Jason Todd told us this week they're going to try and bring pressure on the junior Denson. This time the handoff up the middle for Braden Arnold. Just a gain of a yard.
You know, when we visited with Coach Todd and talked about his coaching staff, and he gives so much credit to his assistant. You can't even compliment this guy because he'll defer everything to his coaches. It's these guys. I tell you, he has one of the best linebacker coaches in the state of Texas in Spencer. One of the best.
2nd down and 9 for Denson. Pressured again. Able to get the pass off into double coverage, knocked away. He was looking for Trenton Yancey, the junior. Nobody home.
And you see the pressure now starting to get home for the Golden Bears. And nothing fancy here. They're not bringing this. They're just getting pressure with 4.
3rd down and long again here for Duncanville. Will Kyle Ward, the Sock defensive coordinator, turn up the heat again? Jamari Stewart right over the center. They bring the delayed blitz. Denson gets around it. He's got the 1st down and then some. Max Denson across midfield. Blockers out in front. Max Denson will score. Flag on the play at the 21-yard line, and I think they're going to get a hold on the receiver all the way downfield.
Oh my, if that is the call here. And this is just Velcroing yourself onto a block, but oh wow. Yes. Fans on the Duncanville side are letting the referees have it.
So they not only get the hold, they also get an unsportsmanlike penalty on Max Denson, the quarterback. So that's going to be 25 yards worth of penalties against Duncanville, not only negating the touchdown, but if I'm calculating this correctly, they'll spot it 10 yards from the spot of the hold, and then another 15 yards back from that. They have put the ball at the 46-yard line. When it gets right down to it, considering the fact that Denson scored on the play and probably didn't need the hold to score.
No.
It's essentially 46 yards worth of penalties, even though it'll officially only go down as 25. That is a colossal turn of events in this football game. 1st and 10 from the 46. Pushing the pile forward for 2.
And you were saying right before that play was Coach Ward bringing pressure, and he brought just enough pressure to get Denson down. And how Max Denson got out of that, we'll never know. But that was a great scramble. Unfortunately, all of that was just for naught because all of it was brought back.
A gain of 3 on the play by Robert Singleton, the junior. He'll get the carry again here. Not a lot of running room. dragged down from behind by Jadarian Jones. They do like these two young running backs, Heckma, Braden Arnold, Robert Singleton, both of them replacing Jaquaylin Armstrong, who was the primary running back a year ago. They feel like they've shown some spunk over the course of the preseason, but now they need to see, hey, can you do it when the lights are on?
Yeah, these are some really young guys, sophomore and junior out here getting an opportunity on varsity to make an impression.
3rd and 6, a strike over the middle, complete for Emmanuel Ellison, and a first down at the 27-yard line.
What a confidence boost right there for Max Denson, getting this ball out, catching Ellison right in between the hash and the numbers.
They like Emmanuel Ellison, too. That's a young man that got hurt last year for a portion of the season. But they feel like he's got a really high ceiling. Denson keeps here on the read option and able to duck across the 20-yard line before he's slung down.
And although Coach Reginald Samples has had several different offensive coordinators over the years, one of the things that remains the same is the misdirection. You got running backs going in two separate ways, and then the quarterback pulling the ball coming out right behind him.
2nd down and 3. Duncanville's done a nice job of responding to the adversity that they put themselves in with the 2 big penalties on the Denson touchdown run. Couple of nice plays here to set up this 2nd and 3 now at the 20-yard line in Sock territory. Can they cap it off, though? Straight ahead for Braden Arnold. Right at the sticks.
And when you say right at the sticks, you mean right at the sticks.
Yeah.
How are they going to? They got to bring the crew out. Nope, they go ahead and wave him through and call that a first down.
Headline judge on the far side said, yep, move those chains. First down. Right at the 17-yard line. Joe Baker, the head linesman tonight. Denson slings it. Complete for Ellison. Right on the sideline, a pickup of 6.
And that's Max Denson putting it out in the flat in a great area, giving his wide receiver Ellison an opportunity. So he had 2 defenders behind him. A lot of times you see quarterbacks make that throw and they put it behind their receiver, and that's where disaster happens, because if that's tipped and the defense gets it, that is a house call on the wide side of the field.
2nd down and 4. Straight ahead again with Braden Arnold to the right side near the end zone. First down and goal for Duncanville at the 2.
Look at the way that they set this up, but also a great job by the running back getting behind his pads, and Arnold trying to run to daylight.
First and goal at the 2 and a stoppage on the field. It is first down. I think that's part of what they're trying to sort out. Now they've got the sticks correct on the far sideline. First and goal at the 2 for Duncanville. I don't think they've realized it upstairs here with the scoreboard keyboard that our system draws off of, but it is first and goal. Straight ahead once again for Braden Arnold, and he's in. Touchdown Duncanville. The penalty overcome. There is a penalty here on the tail end. We'll see if this is after the touchdown was scored or not, but there was a flag down in the end zone.
That may be a little bit more unsportsmanlike call on the Panthers. You saw the flag come out after the touchdown in the end zone.
All we heard there from our referee was that the penalty will be enforced on the kickoff, which would lead you to believe that your interpretation of the situation is correct, that that was a penalty on Duncanville, but we couldn't hear all of what Carl Davis had to say there. We'll see where Duncanville kicks off from here. Meanwhile, the extra point is up and through from Mitchell Watts, and it is a slightly wonky 16-7 tally in favor of Duncanville here late in the first quarter. Heckman, what do you think of what we've seen so far?
A ton of back and forth. I love the response on special teams from South Oak Cliff, but also Max Denson has come out, obviously running for a touchdown. The holding penalty and the unsportsmanlike penalty as well was unfortunate. But, man, way to get back and calm yourself down, calm your offense down, and turn this into a drive and manufacture some points.
We'll see where they spot this for the kickoff for Duncanville, but certainly an opportunity for really good field position for South Oak Cliff.
So, yeah,
but credit to the Duncanville offense for overcoming those penalties, the holding penalty and the unsportsmanlike penalty against Denson that cost them the touchdown and cost them nearly half the field. They were still able to pay it off and score.
So the unsportsmanlike, again, similar to the safety, look at where they're kicking from. And so guaranteed to give up field position, maybe even more.
Yeah. A 15-yard penalty has them kicking off from the 25. So Mitchell Watts will try and send this as deep as he can. Sock with Trotter and Morton, their two stud running backs. Deep to return, standing on their own 20. High kick to the near side. Fair catch called for and made at the 31 by Delvin Cook. So all things considered, not outstanding field position for South Oak Cliff at the 31.
Yeah, you think about that South Oak Cliff offense, they've been cooling, chilling over there on the sideline. Yeah, the special teams touchdown, and then Duncanville goes on that long drive. So these guys are probably trying to warm up again.
Get the pro treatment. Their clinic is in the Super Target Shopping Center on I-20 in Hampton.
So back to work goes Jaden Williams and the Sock offense that at least so far Heckma hasn't been able to make much happen. Of course, the punt return stole a possession from them, so they haven't really had a chance to get into a rhythm yet as we hit 2.5 minutes to play here in this first quarter. Quick throw to the near side, in and out of the hands of his intended target. He was looking for Torrin Teague, was Jaden Williams, and just off target.
Forcing throws, coming up short. That was a bullet on the outside to Torrin Teague. He's just not able to get his feet back around, hands back around to handle that catch.
Second and 10, the handoff to Trotter. Beg your pardon, it's Levon Morton getting to the outside. Morton gets the corner, and he's got the first down.
And that's the difference on how these two running backs feed off of one another. Look at the speed of Morton, because he looked like he is corralled, smothered by red jerseys, and he's able to escape out the back door and pick up a first down.
Ja'Cory Johnson thought he had him, but the speed and the shiftiness of Levon Morton gets him to the outside and picks up 11. First and 10 at the 40-yard line. Over 2,000 of you with us right now on the WFA YouTube channel as the throw goes from Williams to the far side and complete for a pickup of 4. That was Delvin Cook, who did not record a reception a week ago in the win over North Shore, but Jason Todd applauded the blocking that he did downfield for his running backs, Trotter and Morton, for his fellow wide receivers. He's a kid that they expect to be able to make tough catches in big moments. Last week just wasn't that week for him. Makes a catch here and picks up 3. Swing pass. Made one man miss. Fighting forward for a few is Jalen Moore. It's going to be 3rd down and 4.
Yeah, great job there by Jalen Moore, making the first man miss, showing that athleticism as you see it right here. Just a pass out on the flat, mano a mano against Jonathan Barnes. Makes him miss to pick up some extra yardage. Big 3rd down coming up here for South Oak Cliff.
Sock was able to run the ball to the tune of almost 400 yards a week ago against North Shore. Can they tonight against Duncanville? Williams, hands for Morton, into the pile, straight forward for 2. It's 4th down and 2.
I wonder if this is decision time here for Coach Jason Todd. 4th and 2, and he elects to punt.
Special teams coming on the field here in this final minute of the first quarter. It was in that gray area of maybe.
Yeah, no gray area here for Jason Todd. He's like, nah, punt team ready. Let's get him out here. I think it's a great decision. Put your defense back out there. Probably Coach, I know for sure that Coach Ward is talking to his defense and just telling these guys, look, stay in your lanes.
It looks like Duncanville doesn't believe they're actually going to punt it. They kept their defense in a defensive formation. Sky-high punt that will check up and take a Duncanville bounce down at the 36 with 8 seconds remaining here in the first quarter.
Yeah, I think they may have thought that a fake was on. Just obviously not buying it, but not a very good punt either for South Oak Cliff.
South Oak Cliff's offense still looking for some traction. The punt return for a score from Levon Morton. They're 7 points tonight. Their defense could use a stop on this possession. 1st and 10 for Duncanville from the 36 on what is likely the final play of the quarter, and it might be a touchdown. Trenton Yancey with a stiff arm, and he will score. Max Denson, Trenton Yancey, house call to end the first.
Beautiful pass there from Denson, but here, that's easy work for him to get the ball out to your playmaker, Trenton Yancey, and man, he just does the rest. Once he breaks that first tackle, I'm telling you, this kid has the wheels, and if you don't get a hand on him and he is out in space, you will get that result each and every time.
22-7, Duncanville with the lead. They got the band fired up, and they may have themselves their next quarterback in young Max Denson. His second touchdown pass of the night. And if they can tack on the extra point here for Mitchell Watts, they'll put 23 points on the board in the first quarter. That one's bounced. Ellison's going to try and do something with it, pops it toward the end zone. It's picked off in the back of the end zone. It gets free of the hands. It didn't matter. As long as it was incomplete, it's no points, and it will stay 22-7. Sock wasn't going to have a chance to return that if they had picked it off. So it's 22-7 after 1 quarter of play here in Duncanville on Friday Night Football.
Right now in Terrell and in Dallas, your heat index is 107. Everyone in McKinney is dead. It's hot in McKinney. We'll fix that probably.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delcas.
Back in Duncanville at Reginald Samples Field. They named this after their legendary head coach just a little under 2 years ago. We weren't here the last time we were here, rather, they hadn't yet named it after Reginald Samples just a couple months before that date. Back in November of 2023, we were here for the Duncanville DeSoto game that season, just a little bit before. They named it after their legendary head coach. He said it's always an honor to have something like this, but it means something more to him because it means that his grandchildren will know the impact that he had.
Yeah, this is phenomenal. You know, it's phenomenal. It means a lot to me to be here, to see that as well. Get an opportunity to talk to his wife before the game started, and my goodness, this is just, you know, a family affair overload here at Reginald Samples Field, and for all the guys that have played for him, I think they take a little pride in that as well.
One of the young men that played for Reginald Samples, the voice you just heard, Hackma Harrison, the first ever Division I commit that played for Reginald Samples back in his days at Lincoln High.
Can you say it again, Mike? Just say it one more time.
One more time for everybody. I'll say it nice and slow. The very first Division I commit that ever played for Reginald Samples went on to play at Kansas State.
Oh, man, it sounds so good. Don't you agree? I'm messing with you.
So can South Oak Cliff find an answer, Heckma Harrison, after falling down 22-7? Straight ahead and running hard off that left guard is Mikhail Trotter. He picks up 5 on the first play of the possession.
Yeah, this is the way that they're going to get back in this game. They've got to get this running game going, and obviously the short passing. Jaden Williams, and when we talk with Coach Todd, he says, you know, he is a cool customer. Says he has a little Snoop Dogg in him.
Yes, he did.
Hey, Mike, I didn't know how to take that. I just took it as he's a cool customer, okay? But that's how laid back Jaden Williams is.
He said he's got a real cool Snoop Dogg type demeanor to him, Jaden Williams, the Sock junior quarterback. This time he hands it off to Trotter, and Trotter hops his way through the defense into the second level. Look at Mikhail Trotter go into Duncanville territory, down to the 42.
They have this kid listed at 5'9", 190 pounds, but look at his vision and how patient he is. The jump cut right here. Whew. Oh, that's good stuff right there from your senior running back. And like I said, Mike, this is the kind of drive that South Oak Cliff needs to have. If they can finish this off, even with the field goal, I think they feel better about themselves. They get their defense, get these guys a blow. They're just they're being exposed by the speed of Duncanville.
That was a wonky snap that got away from Williams. Trotter ended up catching it and just had to take off with it. They're fortunate that that's nothing worse than just a loss of about a half a yard.
No, that is luck right there, because that was a bullet back to him, and Trotter just does the best that he can to try and pick up some positive yards.
Over 2,000 of you with us right now on the WFAA YouTube channel. Please click the like button, click the share button, send this feed around to your friends. Let them know that they can tune in and watch some really, really good Texas high school football for free here on the WFAA YouTube channel. And if you're at home, download the WFAA Plus app to your television for free. You can use Apple TV, you can use Roku, you can use Amazon Fire TV. Download that WFAA Plus app and you can pull this up big screen on your television. So they're trying to fix the clock right now.
You have a battle over here on the right side. This right tackle, Brian Swanson and KJ Ford, the back and forth between these two guys. Excuse me, that's Cortavius Tisby out here on the right side.
2nd and 11, pressure. Woo. Nice catch on the far sideline by Torrin Teague, and he's able to make something positive out of this. It will make 3rd down more manageable for offensive coordinator Herman Johnson in this Sock offense.
And a ton of pressure in the face of Jaden Williams. Lucky he was able to get that one out, but there is a flag.
Back in the backfield, Sock is walking backward. KJ Ford is pointing backward, and it is a hold. Penalties offset. It's not 1st down. It'll be 2nd down again.
Okay, so offsetting penalties, they
just negates the play, and they'll replay the down. It was 2nd and 11. It will be 2nd and 11 once again at that 38-yard line. Michael Hall, a regular viewer here on Friday Night Football in the YouTube comments. We appreciate you being here as always, my man. Sox got to get to the 27 to move the chains. Handoff for Morton, and he's swallowed up inside immediately. Ja'Cory Johnson cancels him out.
And, I mean, Ja'Cory Johnson, 6'2", 300 pounds. This kid, that's just putting a blanket over that running back, and he is built up right. And a little bit of talking going on down there.
We said it off the top of the telecast. These are kids that have played against each other, that have played with each other for a very long time. There's kids on each side of this exchange that played with each other on youth teams growing up. They know each other very, very well. 3rd down and 13. Pressure again on Williams. Tried to hit the escape hatch and overthrew Torrin Teague. I don't know if Teague would have been able to pick up the first down, but he would have had a chance to pick up a chunk of yardage and maybe make it more of a decision here on 4th down. Instead, Sock will have to punt it away again.
And Jaden Williams, he just airmailed that one. You got to give your receiver an opportunity to make a play on the ball, and yeah, didn't get it there. It's just South Cliff. We're so scared. Love the student section.
The Duncanville students out in force tonight. This time the punt snap is on target. Good punt inside, but it's not going to check up for him into the end zone for a touchback. Good foot on it from Nate Coleman, but more than he wanted. 8:50 left in this second quarter, and Duncanville takes back over.
Well, he did just a great job of getting that ball down. The last time, we saw one of those snaps go over his head, and he just had to kick it out of bounds. He had to go up, and that was like an alley-oop to go bring that one down.
Friday Night Football is sponsored by Texas Day Brazil. Celebrate with us. Special occasions deserve unforgettable experiences. From intimate date nights to large gatherings, Texas Day Brazil is the perfect place to celebrate life's milestones in style. So we've seen the Sock defense make a couple stops tonight. They need another here to avoid going down big. Sock does get the ball to start the second half. That matters in this equation. Denson takes off and runs for it. Slides down at the 30-yard line. They'll mark him down where he began his slide back at the 28. A pickup of 8 to begin the possession.
And if Denson keeps this up, he's going to have to insist that announcers say his entire name. Because the great is putting in great work right now, man. This is I like the way that he's manufacturing these points, but also, you saw Sock making adjustments, start to get, pressure up the middle. Great job by Max Denson.
Hands off up the middle here for Braden Arnold, and Braden Arnold's getting to the outside. Arnold running the ladder up the sideline, spins inside to the 35.
Well, that's some South Oak Cliff defenders trying to figure out how to get this guy on the ground. And, well, you see a few guys just a little winded out there on defense. Sock defenders scraping themselves up off the ground. I think another score right here in the second quarter, boy, that's going to be big.
There was a sideline warning on the far side against South Oak Cliff. The first time that's called, it is just a warning. The second time, they will be penalized for it. Another run off left guard, lowering his shoulder and pushing forward, a pickup of 9. Duncanville is running the football hard right now.
Yes, they are. And I tell you what, Aiden Williams on the outside, the left tackle. All of these guys are doing a really good job up front. Number 54, 77, Jacalen Elmo. Ton of big bodies up front. And again, Duncanville had to replace their entire offensive line.
Yeah. 5 new starters up front. Aiden Williams, Jacalen Elmo, Eris Preston, Travis Norris, Kendrick Harris. Left to right across the front, and they are moving bodies tonight to the end zone. Wide open for the touchdown. Right on the money for Emmanuel Ellison.
And that's just a fade ball to the outside for Max Denson. Man, I love to see that. When a quarterback is confident in his arm and his wide receiver, he's not holding the ball, putting it perfect, dropping that thing down in the bucket. All you Texas high school quarterbacks, that's how you get it done.
And 5 minutes into the second quarter, Duncanville is in control on their home field. That's a big-time throw from Max Denson.
Yes, it is. So often you see a quarterback like Max Denson. We've already seen him. We know that this kid has wheels. A lot of times,
that extra point did sneak through.
It did.
Somehow.
Okay. That was a bullet. Better duck behind that goalpost. But what I was saying is it's so many athletic quarterbacks. So many of these guys are unwilling to stand in the pocket and throw the ball, or at least have the confidence in their preparation and practice to deliver. And I see Max Denson right now, again, cool as the other side of the pillow and just dropping that thing down on his wide receivers.
So South Oak Cliff came into this night hopeful and almost expecting to come out here and put a really good effort on the field and play Duncanville tooth and nail. 5 minutes into the second quarter, it has not gone the way that Jason Todd's team wanted it to so far. How do they bark back right now?
Yeah, I think one of the things you have to do is give your defense a blow. They have been out there, and there have been long drives by Duncanville. Those runs, that offensive line is really just running downhill at the second level. Offensively, you've got to get your running game going. They've had some miscues with snaps, and I think those are some of the things that have held them back. But man, you still have a Mikael Trotter that almost ran for 200 yards versus North Shore.
Yeah.
And so no matter what, I mean, you still got plenty of time in this game. You got plenty of time. Just get your running game going, have some success, get another score up here on the board, and go into halftime with a little bit of optimism in your eyes, basically.
Nice return there by Levon Morton to fight his way out to the 28-yard line. 6:53 in the half. They certainly need to go get points right now.
Yes.
But they do have the football to start the second half. If they could double up around halftime, they can work their way right back into this football game. But they got to get points right now.
Yeah, and people talk about that. It's the split. If you're able to get that split, come back out at halftime and score again, you could make up the difference in a game like this. But you're going to have to get a stop, though, defensively.
They haven't been able to get the run game moving the same way that they did against North Shore. We'll see if they can change that as this night goes on. Certainly a humid night. Can they wear down? Can they start to lean on the Duncanville front? Nice run to start the possession here.
Yeah, I think right now what's happening with South Oak Cliff is that in the interior, Dylan Williams and Ja'Cory Johnson are just presenting a ton of problems, and they're living in the backfield.
Nick the Quick in the YouTube comments says, look at my little cousin, number 56 for sock. Come on, little cousin. That's Cortavius Tisby.
Hey,
nothing little about your cousin.
I was just about to say, he is not your little – you know what? I don't know how big he is, so I'll take that back. Nope.
Cortavius Tisby is 6'7", 275, so Nick the Quick ought to be pretty big. Oh, look at the hurdle on the far side. Look at Torrin Teague going airborne out across midfield and into Duncanville territory.
Oh, my God. I just tore my hamstring calling that. Look at this for Torrin Teague. Boy, that's risky, but very athletic.
My word. Torrin Teague going airborne. The senior wide receiver. There was a flag on the play. So that's going to be a 15-yard penalty on Duncanville. To tack on to the back end of Torrin Teague's catch and run, and just that fast, it's 1st and 10 sock at the 32. Green band is FTW in the YouTube comments, just says holy in all caps at that play from Torrin Teague. Can South Oak Cliff double down on it here? A 1-yard carry in the interior. No running room to speak of for Mikael Trotter.
And there's the concentration that I was talking about. The running game continuing to stay with this, but the best thing for South Oak Cliff, what it does is it keeps the clock moving. You don't right now, you do not want to give this ball back to the Duncanville offense, which you probably are in this drive at some point. But don't want to let these guys back on the field because Max Denson is on fire right now.
Up the middle for Trotter. Galloping his way into the second level to the 20 and a first down.
Said you needed that strong interior running, and you're getting it right now from Trotter.
Trotter again. Bottled up this time. Jalen Manning, the big middle linebacker, pushing him backward. Just a gain of 2.
And you have 2 of the best defensive coordinators here in Bonner and Ward.
Yeah.
You know, 2 state title holding defensive coordinators. So the chess match at the back and forth right now is something to see.
Sock is slowing things down here, trying to eat up some of that clock and make sure that certainly their most important job here is to get the ball in the end zone. They will go to the air, near side, complete, and breaking away. Another hurdle inside the 5. Torrin Teague trying to jump over the entire Duncanville defense, and it's 1st and goal for Sock.
Woo. Torrin Teague, brother. Ouch.
Ooh, yeah, he paid for that one. Yikes. 1st and goal from the 2. Handoff, Morton, and he's in. What a drive from South Oak Cliff.
And Mike, you asked me at the beginning of this drive, what did South Oak Cliff have to do? And it was get behind this running game, eat up some of this clock, and give their defense a break. You see these guys huddle up over here on the sideline, and that's South Oak Cliff's defense. They needed that. You got 3 minutes, 21 seconds, and you just need to hold the Panthers to 29 here in the first half.
Extra point try for Cesar Olvera out of the hold of Leo Varela.
Wow.
Up and through.
I think they got
hammered that one.
I think they got themselves a kicker.
They do. They feel like he's got range out to close to 50. He pumps through the extra point, and South Oak Cliff goes right down the field. 29-14, late 2nd quarter on Friday Night Football.
Thanks, Delkus.
Thanks, Delkus.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
Discover WFAA Plus, a live 24-hour stream of WFAA news and exclusive digital content, all completely free. Now available on Apple TV, Roku, and Fire TV. Download WFAA Plus today.
Back in Duncanville, Sock ready to kick it off after going right down the field. Deep kick that will go into the end zone, and back comes the Duncanville offense. Let's show you one more time Torrin Teague hurtling over the Duncanville offense. This was the first of 2. This was the cleaner of the 2 hurdles. He paid for the second one. That is a thing of beauty.
Oh, that's super clean.
That is special. Nick the Quick says that boy leaping.
Yeah, well, that second one almost cost him. Won't do that too many more times, Mr. Teague.
Yeah, he's going to remember the second one. He'll remember both of them. Both of them were special. Both of them were really athletic plays. The second one cost a little more.
Yeah.
Big spot here with 3:20 in the first half. Swing pass to Ace Theus. Picks up a few to begin the possession.
And, you know, when you have athletic wide receivers like the Panthers do, those little passes out in the flat is just long handoffs to these guys. They can make you miss and create. Guys like Theus and Ellison and Trenton Yancey talk about speed.
2nd and 5. Nowhere to go for Robert Singleton, bottled up. May have lost a half a yard.
This is a big 3rd down here for the Panthers, because truth is, if they don't convert here, they're going to have to punt it to a very dangerous returner.
We've already seen Levon Morton take one back 78 yards for a touchdown in the first quarter to score Sock's first points of the game. Now he's got a 2-yard touchdown run to add to the mix. Can Sock's defense get off the field on 3rd and 5? Pressure coming up the gut. They get to Denson. Can he get away? No. Sock turning up the heat on the junior, and it's 4th down at the 2-minute timeout.
And we talked about this 3rd down, and at first it was all about just getting off the field for South Oak Cliff and getting in at halftime. But you got 1:53 left here in the first half. If they can convert and turn this into points, that split even becomes more monumental.
Yeah. 1:53, all 3 timeouts to work with for South Oak Cliff. Neither team has taken a timeout so far in this football game. This is the 2-minute timeout. New to high school football this year, added to the college game a year ago, and the UIL follows the NCAA rulebook. Different from a lot of states around the country that follow the NFHS rulebook. The UIL, that's just the quality of Texas high school football. They say, we're going with the college rules because this is a college-type atmosphere. This is college-type talent. We're going with the college rules.
How many times have we been at AT&T Stadium in a state final and a team is running out of timeouts or trying to stop the clock? This 2-minute rule is going to affect those championship moments.
Yeah.
Really good coaches are going to find a way to coach around this.
High snap. Good job to haul that one in. It's a low line drive punt, and it's going to be good field position for South Oak Cliff as long as they're smart enough to stay away from it. Golden Bear came running in there. I was worried that Jairi and Hampton was going to run into that football. But Sock is going to take over at the 38-yard line. 100 seconds left in this first half and an opportunity to perhaps go score again before halftime. And again, they have the ball to start the 3rd quarter.
You know, I like that last drive, the way that they came out, and let's just be real here. Torrin Teague set that whole thing up. He just would not be denied, but you're going to have to get more than just that. And Mikael Trotter came on as well. They're late, but, man, Morton and other names have to get included in on the act. Jalen Moore, who had a catch to start things off here in the first half. You're going to need more of that athleticism from the South Oak Cliff Bears.
Sock can run it with as much time that is left in this half and the 3 timeouts, but a lot of this drive is going to have to come through the air, and they go to the air right away, try and set up a little tunnel screen on the sideline. That ball, Duncanville's trying to rip away from Delvin Cook. They couldn't quite do it. Cook picks up 6 on the first play of the possession.
Yeah, and he has 3 Panthers hanging on him, trying to peanut punch that ball out. Great job of keeping it.
2nd and 4 at the 44. 1:10 in the half as Williams takes a high snap. Gets around the edge, fires downfield on the money inside the 40-yard line and out of bounds. Good work over the middle by Devontae Hill.
I'll tell you what, Jaden Williams is throwing some bullets. Look at this ball.
That's a rope.
Yes.
Jason Todd, in addition to saying he's got that real cool Snoop Dogg type demeanor to him, also did invoke the name of Kevin Jennings in terms of the way that Jaden Williams can throw the football, and that's a mouthful.
That is a huge compliment.
Oh, pressure from behind, and he's taken down, ball out. No. Good job by Jaden Williams to hang on to that football because he got clobbered from behind.
And he did not feel the pressure of Landon Barnes behind him. And he is lucky, Mike, to hold on to that ball.
One more look at it here as Barnes got around Cortavius Tisby and punished Jaden Williams. The 4-star Ole Miss commit, Barnes, the senior, getting home. That's a big-time sack that forces Sock to use their second timeout with just under 47 seconds in the half. 2,600 of you with us right now on the WFAA YouTube channel. We appreciate you all so very much for being here. Again, please click that like button, click the share button, click the subscribe button, because we will bring you a Texas high school football game each week here on Friday Night Football. And for you Duncanville fans, you probably already know this, but we will be back here on October 10th for Duncanville DeSoto. The standard in Texas high school football, certainly in the regular season at minimum. That game is as good as it gets. Far side, receiver fell down.
That is a difficult throw. As a former quarterback, you know it. You know, he's going to the wide side of the field. You got two defenders over there. That has to be a fastball. If there's any air underneath that ball, those guys break on it. There's no way your offensive linemen are cutting him off in an angle.
So now 3rd down and 16 with 42 seconds in the half. Again, they do feel like Cesar Olvera's got some range out to close to 50, but that would mean they'd have to get to at least the 32, 33 to be able to attempt a field goal. And to be a little more precise, Jason Todd said more like 48-ish for Olvera's range, so basically right at the 30-yard line. And Sock's going to burn their last time out here to talk over this 3rd and 16 a little bit more.
Yeah, big time 3rd and 16 coming up for the Golden Bears. And just checking on Jaden Williams' demeanor after that big hit by Landon Barnes. He didn't feel that pressure, boy, and he got hit in the back. That is tough for a quarterback. Again, not feeling the pressure. And right now, Coach Barner has some pressure coming from different angles on this junior quarterback.
South Oak Cliff, preseason number 2 in the state rankings in 5A Division II. They remained in that number 2 spot in this week's rankings. But our friends at Dave Campbell's, I heard Greg Tepper talking about this earlier this week. They said they felt like the gap was shrunken down to almost nothing behind Richmond Randall, courtesy of what Sock did a week ago, beating North Shore. They nearly jumped them to number 1. If they were to figure out a way to come back and win tonight, no question they would go to the top spot. 3rd down and 16. Williams able to evade the pocket, fires late over the middle, complete. Breaking away is Torrin Teague inside the 10-yard line. 1st down, South Oak Cliff. There is a flag down way back behind the play, and it might be a hold on the Sock offensive line. It is a hold, and it is all coming back. Cortavius Tisby had a hold of KJ Ford, and Ford was celebrating back toward midfield, pantomiming a flag flying in the air.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a battle between these two players, man. And I tell you what, KJ Ford is trying every rush move he has in his portfolio to get around this guy.
So make it 3rd down, and what's the actual number going to be? I think they're still doing math in the in-house scoreboard crew. I think it's 22, it looks like, from my vantage point. The ball sits at the 47, and they've got to get to the 25. Yeah, 3rd down and 22 is the number.
Goodness. Looking at Bryson Ramsey Brooks, that's a big old kid. Peebo.
They call him Peebo. He's 6'4", 330. His older brother that went to TCU is like 430 pounds or something like that. Yes. That's Bubba Ramsey Brooks' little brother, and in this case, actually, little brother.
Yeah, I guess that does apply.
They'll say 3rd and 23 now as they set it back at the 49. Now they've changed to 3rd and 27, call it. A mile here for Williams. Pressured from behind, able to get away. He's going to try and run for it. Pushed out of bounds. Will that draw a flag?
Wow. And
I can't believe that hasn't drawn a flag. Jalen Manning pushed him out of bounds and then threw his hands up in the air like he did nothing. I wonder if our replay angle will show where he made the contact, whether it was still in the field of play where he made contact with Jaden Williams. If he did, it's a legal play.
And you see Williams, he's trying to hustle out of bounds. No, that's
that's a legal play.
That is in play. But he launched him to the track. So, quite a push.
Fourth down with 23 seconds left in the half. This feels like a spot where, one, you certainly want to get a solid snap back to Nate Coleman. And I got to imagine Jason Todd saying, Nate Coleman, punt it out of bounds. Don't give Ace Theus an opportunity to go make a play here. Line drive punt up the far left sideline. And it will check up at the 18. 15.9 seconds remaining in the half. And that may have just been good enough to get Duncanville to take a knee and head to the locker room.
Mike, and I like that. You keep that ball away from Ace. Don't allow him to make a play on it, but still 15 seconds left. Let's see if Coach Samples elects to kneel it here, or will he continue to gun it down the field? It's felt like it's been forever since we've seen the Duncanville Panther offense out here on the field. And the officials are huddled up over here, and there's a flag down. And Mike, I didn't see what happened, but
officials are still sorting out how this will be handled.
Hands to the face on Duncanville number 8. That 15-yard penalty will be assessed on the dead ball spot. The Duncanville ball, first down.
So it will not change possession. It was not an automatic first down penalty. That would have been a colossal mistake.
Yes.
If that were the case, and it gave possession back to South Oak Cliff.
So hands to the face, he just said, no, on Duncanville or South Oak? Okay, Duncanville.
Yeah, it was on Duncanville, so that will change the spot. It's a 15-yard penalty, but based on where that ball went out of bounds, it'll be enforced half the distance. Even more reason for Duncanville to kneel on the football. And based on the fact that the Duncanville coaches in the booth to our right are leaving the booth right now, I'm thinking they're going to kneel on the football right now.
I think that's an indication.
I'm thinking so.
Yeah. Hey, we're done here. We're going to kneel and go in for half.
Max Denson takes a knee, and it's 29-14 at the break. South Oak Cliff with the ball to start the third quarter. Hackma Harrison, your impressions of what we have seen to this point?
You know, I think that first quarter was close, but some of the miscues, the penalties for South Oak Cliff, the snap over the head of the punter, there's so many things that have cost them. But I tell you what, they have continued to battle back. This adjustments that they're going to make at half are going to be very important. They get the ball to start the third quarter. If they can turn that into points, this is a brand new ball game.
8:46 will be your start time for the third quarter, but coming up, the Friday Night Football halftime show, sponsored by the Children's Health Andrews Institute. Halftime shows from all 4 units from both Sauk and Duncanville, right after this on Friday Night Football. End zone shot. What a catch!
Catch a live broadcast of every play of the biggest high school football games. Next week, Salina versus Gunner. Stream the broadcast free next Friday night at 7 on WFAA+.
Thanks, Delkus.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
WFAA has a legacy of changing the system.
Most recently, we did a story on ankle monitors and how they don't work, and how criminals are committing crimes with ankle monitors. And yeah, there's legislative change coming.
Our 2-year investigation caught the attention of state representatives. Now, it's a crime to cut off ankle monitors.
I want people to see things that we need to hold people accountable for.
What's up, football fans? It's the best time of the year. Every Monday morning, we want to hear what you have to say about the game. Join me, Marcus Stuck, Glenn Strutch-Smith, and Rebecca Lopez for the Call-In Show, Monday mornings at 11:30.
Sponsored by K-Post Company.
And now, the Friday Night Football halftime show, sponsored by the Children's Health Andrews Institute.
Really good halftime show on deck for you tonight. First up, the crews from South Oak Cliff, the New Soul of the South marching band, one of the best names for a marching band in all of North Texas, under the direction of Mr. William Allen, and the Sock Golden Pivoteers Dance Troupe, under the direction of Miss Kayla Evans. We hope you enjoy the show. A terrific show from the South Oak Cliff crew, the new soul of the South Marching Band. A drum major bent over backwards. That was quite impressive. Next up, the crew from Duncanville, the Duncanville High School Band and the Duncanville High School Color Guard. Paula Tagalos and Michael Shapiro, the directors respectively, making their way onto the field now. We hope you enjoy the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the center of the field and welcome the heart of Duncanville, Texas. The beautiful and award-winning Duncanville High School Hi-Hats featuring the Showstoppers. The 2025-2026 Hi-Hat officers are First Junior Lieutenant Janessa Garfield, Second Junior Lieutenant Kaylee Daniels, Squad Leader Canaria Fuller. Hi-Hat of the Week is London Lewis. Spirit Dancer of the Week is Bryce Chris. The Hi-Hats are under the direction of Miss Brianna Dawson, Assistant Director Miss Erin Roloffs. Tonight, the Hi-Hats will perform a kick routine to Bad Habits. Take it away, ladies. Marching. Texas 6.
Duncanville High School game.
And now, Duncanville High School and the City of Champions present the band of pride makes the difference. like to thank and recognize the support we received from Duncanville Superintendent Dr. Goree, our Board of Trustees, Director of Fine Arts Paul Ducey, DHS Executive Principal Danny Colbert Jr., Collegiate Academy Principal Dr. Tiffany Stetz, and the entire Duncanville community. The Duncanville Band would like to thank our sponsors.
Thanks for watching the Friday Night Football Halftime Show, sponsored by the Children's Health Andrews Institute. Highlights and stats after this. End zone shot. What a catch!
Catch a live broadcast of every play of the biggest high school football games. Next week, Salina versus Gunner. Stream the broadcast free next Friday night at 7 on WFAA+.
Thanks, Delkus.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
WFAA has a legacy of changing the system.
Most recently, we did a story on ankle monitors and how they don't work, and how criminals are committing crimes with ankle monitors. And yeah, there's legislative change coming.
Our 2-year investigation caught the attention of state representatives. Now, it's a crime to cut off ankle monitors.
I want people to see things that we need to hold people accountable for.
We welcome you back to Duncanville's Panthers Stadium, Reginald Samples Field, and a 29-14 lead for the Duncanville Panthers. Mike Leslie, Heckma Harrison back with you here in the broadcast booth. Heckma, an impressive first half from Duncanville in particular, from the young quarterback, Max Denson.
Yeah, Maximus, the great Denson. He had himself at half, and all he did was get the ball into the hands of his playmakers, and they did the rest.
Maximus the Great King Denson, one of the
bad.
all-time names in Texas high school football, and he's playing his first game ever. Let's show you the highlights of what he did have to do tonight. Led him right down the field and hit Zach Turner on the first touchdown pass of the game.
Yeah, this is one where you have a wide receiver in Zach Turner. All you need to do is get him out in space. He'll do the rest.
7-0 Duncanville very early on. They added a safety, but then Levon Morton did this, a 78-yard punt return for a touchdown to get Sock on the board.
Yeah, how big was this return? And it came at a point in the game where it just felt like Sock wasn't getting anything going offensively. Morton took that punt and did the rest.
From there, Duncanville would answer, though. Braden Arnold with the 2-yard touchdown run, 16-7. Duncanville had the lead. And then right before the end of the first quarter, the final play of the first quarter, and it's Denson again hooking up with Trenton Yancey. This young man is a superstar in the making, 4-star prospect, 64 yards for the touchdown. It was 22-7 at the end of one.
Yeah, and I think that's when Denson basically, he woke up. He's like, look, I don't have to make this any harder on myself than it has to be. Get the ball outside to my playmakers. I watch these guys create and practice all the time. He did exactly that. And this was the throw to me that really was just the cherry on top once he got that one out to Emmanuel Ellison.
So 29-7 after that, but a big, important drive from South Oak Cliff. A couple of nice plays from the junior quarterback, Jaden Williams. A couple of really nice runs from Levon Morton and Mikhail Trotter. Morton caps it off with the 2-yard touchdown run, and it's 29-14 now here at halftime.
Yeah, and they needed that drive. It was a long drive, gave their defense an opportunity to catch their breath after those very long drives by the Panthers. And I tell you what, man, this is a brand new ball game. I stated right before we went to half, if South Oak Cliff is able to come out of this with some points, I think it'll be well worth it for these guys.
So here's your halftime stats. Again, the 29-14 lead for Duncanville at the break. What is maybe most glaring there is the total yardage difference in favor of Duncanville, tripling up South Oak Cliff. But the thing you do have to remember there is the 78-yard punt return for a touchdown that does warp those numbers at least a little bit.
No, absolutely it does. And I think, look, here's the deal. You can't knock the production, though, from the Duncanville Panthers. 279 total. it's what they're doing on the ground that I think is really jaw-dropping, because you're not used to seeing the South Oak Cliff Golden Bears give that up on the ground. So I know for Coach Jason Todd and Coach Ward, they went in and they talked to the squad, and it's like, look, if we're going to have any success here, or no matter how we get out of here, we're going to stop the run.
It will be South Oak Cliff football to start the second half, and that is important because there's an opportunity here for Jason Todd's Golden Bears team to go down the field and make this a one-score game very quickly.
Yeah, this is the game where, look, the split, deferring to the second half, smart by South Oak Cliff. Again, they come in riding high off of that victory from North Shore. I think Duncanville was well aware that they did not want to give these guys any hope coming in here. They tried to put them away early, but that championship pride from South Oak Cliff, they just won't go away.
This is a special high school football atmosphere. South Oak Cliff, two-time state champions, 2021 and 2022, went back to the title game in 23 and 24, favored to go back for a fifth straight time this year. And the homestanding Duncanville Panthers, three-time state champions in their history, 1998 the first, and then back-to-back in 22 and 23, and looking to kind of reassert themselves this year, Heckma. They went to the state semifinals. It wasn't like they had a bad year in 2024, but for this program, they're not used to not getting to AT&T Stadium. That is their second home for Reginald Samples and this Duncanville Panthers program. They lost last year in the semifinals against one of the stories of the last decade in Texas high school football, that fantastic North Crowley team, and they want to put themselves right back on the mountaintop this year.
But why did it feel like last season wasn't a success? Because you put that together perfectly. It's the fact that you didn't go to AT&T Stadium, but you run into a team in North Crowley that really was a team of destiny.
Yeah.
And back-to-back championships for Coach Samples, and I think he really is. He's feeling that pressure a little bit and want to put those whispers to bed about the Duncanville Panthers, and that's why they've come out and they've been so aggressive here in the first half of this ball game.
Duncanville to kick it away. Second half underway from the 13. It's Levon Morton, able to pick his way forward to the 26. And that's where Jaden Williams and this Sock offense will get back to work. Just the 90 total yards in the first half for the Sock offense. 72 of them coming on the ground. What do they need to do? We saw a nice drive there late in that second quarter that was the best and most consistent offense we had seen from Sock in this football game. How do they find that again here early third quarter?
I think Torrin Teague just needs to come out and hurdle people. Is that a good answer? No, what you got to do is you got to run the ball. I mean, Mikael Trotter just showed you. Look, if you put the ball give him the ball, he will lead you to the promised land. He has picked up some really tough, gritty yards, but also they've got to find a way to get the ball into their playmakers' hands, those receivers on the outside.
Another high snap right through the hands of Williams. Pounces on top of it, can't get it. Recovered by Duncanville. Ja'Cory Johnson with the recovery. A nightmare start to the half for South Oak Cliff.
And I tell you what, man, that has been happening. Those snaps back to Jaden Williams. We saw it on the punt, but so often, man, that's a bullet snap coming back to him. And Reggie Epps, the center for South Oak Cliff, just an errant snap right there.
We spent the entire second quarter talking about what Sock was building to. They went down the field and scored. They had a chance to score a second time before halftime. But, hey, they're going to have the ball to start the second half. They can make this thing a game if they can go down and score. And in one snap of the football over Jaden Williams' head, they've given it away. First and goal, Duncanville, and they're in. South Oak Cliff just gift-wrapped 7 points for the Duncanville Panthers.
Yeah, that is probably not even probably. That's a nightmare start for South Oak Cliff. An errant snap over the head of your quarterback. He can't chase it down, but obviously not a good job of trying to get on top of that fumble. And, man, they, like you said, gifted the Panthers another score.
Not the start to the second half that Jason Todd wanted in any way, shape, or form. After they did start to build at least a little bit of momentum there late in that first half, it started to look like and started to feel like, hey, they can get back in this football game, and I'm sure they must have come out of the break feeling that way.
Yeah.
And that feeling evades you in one snap of the football.
Yeah, it had to be fired up. And here's the other deal. I mean, the Panthers just missed the PAT.
They did, yeah. So it's 35-15. 35-14, excuse me. 18 seconds in to the third quarter, and this game just got flipped on its ear by one snap of the football.
Yeah, well, putting yourself behind the 8-ball here for South Oak Cliff, you know, you got to calm down, get your offense back out here, man. You got to produce. You know, they hate to say it, you're still not out of it, but defensively, you got to get some stops, and you got to get some pretty special things to start happening for you on offense, and maybe a turnover, a miscue from this Duncanville offense, and they'll let you back in. But you can't gift points to a team like Duncanville, especially not here at home.
Their offense will have an opportunity to come right back on the football field as Duncanville will kick it away. So an opportunity for Jaden Williams and for the center Reggie Epps to respond, and they would certainly hope atone for the start to the half. But that's also hard to just flush it and move on, too. It's hard to not be in your head after something like that happens.
One of the things in football that really works for athletes is that short time, that just having a short memory.
Coming near side, some running room here for Delvin Cook, and he's out close to midfield. A nice return. And that is a good sign for South Oak Cliff as they've got some field position. Now a flag way after the play, 20 yards downfield from where the play ended, and the officials are going to have to sort out who this penalty is going to go against.
And these are some of the things that you worry about in a game like this. You just don't want for those, penalties to start to cost you. We've seen several unsportsmanlike penalties in this game.
Officials are walking backward, which would lead you to believe this may be against South Oak Cliff, but still no determination just yet. It was a bad time for us to lose our crowd mic there for a second. We couldn't hear the explanation from the official. But the penalty does appear to be going against South Oak Cliff, so what was terrific field position gets docked 15 yards all the way back to the 33, and they'll start from much more normal field position as a result.
Yeah, we talked about the miscues. We talk about the snap that cost them the points. They get the positive field position after the kickoff, but, there's got to be a little bit of frustration on the other side for the Golden Bears, and you see that kind of bubbling over there on that last play.
So how does Jaden Williams respond? The snap is perfect. Quick throw to the outside. They set up the screen. Breaking a couple tackles is Torrin Teague, and he's out to midfield, and just like that, they get the penalty yardage back, and they're out to the midfield stripe.
This is a young man running with some determination in Torrin Teague. Making guys miss, taking on contact.
Braylon Edwards, the senior safety, making his 37th consecutive start there to make the tackle and end the play, but a really nice catch and run from Torrin Teague. He has proven to be a significant portion of the offense tonight for South Oak Cliff. Handoff Morton, big hole left side. Flag down behind the play. It's all coming back for a hold.
You see him trying to chip away in this running game, but unfortunately, a holding call is going to take that away.
Holding, 71 of the offense. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Robert Henderson, the sophomore, in there at left tackle and negating a really nice run for Levon Morton. Sock has come out, though, despite obviously the snap to start the second half, showing the ability to move the ball. Really nice play there by Teague. They created a big hole. Obviously, the hold helps in creating such a chasm in the defense, but a nice run by Levon Morton. They have shown here in the early stages that they've got the wherewithal to move the football, but they need to do it with consistency and without the penalties. They'll hand off again, this time for Trotter. Ripped backward by Ja'Cory Johnson.
Yeah, this is, again, frustration on for both of these teams. And you see the referees trying to get in the middle of it and calm these guys down. But it's getting heated. And Mike, I just want to say it was never a question whether South Oak Cliff could move the ball.
Yeah.
I just think that this Duncanville defense, they're presenting so many problems in so many different angles, but also Jaden Williams is just missed on a few throws. The opportunity has been there, but he's just missed a few times.
Ja'Cory Johnson got tangled up. I'm not sure if it was 72 Brian Swanson or 71 Robert Henderson that came in and pushed him off of Mikhail Trotter, because it was Johnson that slung Trotter to the ground a good deal after the play was over. Now a delay of game on South Oak Cliff will cost them 5 more yards, and it will be 2nd and 25. But this has gotten a little chippy here to start off this third quarter.
Yeah, it has. And again, when you start having these kinds of penalties, that frustration, and then you get this delay of game, and all of that is set up by what's happening after the play.
2nd and 25. Swing pass, too tall. Jalen Moore, the intended target. They couldn't hook up, and it's 3rd and a mile.
Good job by Jonathan Barnes pulling up on that play. Too often when a ball is overthrown like that and the receiver is extended all the way out, as a defensive player, what you want to do is you want to put your helmet right underneath his chin. That would have been an easy 15-yard penalty had he done that.
3rd and 25. They got to get to the 40 in Duncanville territory. Does Williams dial up a deep shot? Steps forward in the pocket, and he's taken down. Helmet went flying. The sack by Dylan Williams. Landon Barnes lost his helmet in the middle of all that. But it's a sack of Williams, and it's 4th down.
We got people losing mouthpieces, losing helmets. That's a lot of debris out there on that field. This is a hard-fought contest.
Duncanville has started to ratchet up the defensive intensity here.
Yes, they have. And what's happening is it's been up front between these two, number 11 and number 99. They are having themselves one heck of a game.
Dylan Williams and Ja'Cory Johnson, the 2 defensive tackles in the middle for the Duncanville Panthers. And it's 4th and 25 for South Oak Cliff. Oh my goodness, that's going to be a free first down for South Oak Cliff. It's an unsportsmanlike penalty against Duncanville on what was 4th and 25. It's going to be a free first down. That's an automatic first down, and it's going to remain Sock football. All the way out at the 47, 1st and 10 Golden Bears.
That has got to be frustrating for Coach Bonner. Gets his defense has a stand.
Yeah.
We talked about these unsportsmanlike penalties. The referees are just not going to take them. They have, you've seen them several times, try to get these players together, and the only way that you can rein this back in is, for these penalties to start costing these players.
9:09 in the third, still an eternity left in this football game, and Sock was just handed a gift from the Duncanville defense. 1st and 10 at the 47. Trotter in the backfield taken down. Look at KJ Ford screaming off the edge. Then a little headbutt to Cortavius Tissaby.
Wow.
I don't think the officials saw it.
No, they didn't.
No flag.
No flag coming out here, but that's just frustration by KJ Ford. Boy, he is. Wow. Talk about two guys going at it.
And then Dylan Williams trying to point at the Sauk offensive lineman Cortavius Tissaby, saying he should have been flagged for pushing KJ Ford after the headbutt. We said it has gotten chippy, and it's even gone to another level since we said that. A loss of 3. It's 2nd and 13. To the air, nearly intercepted. Oh my, that had pick 6 written all over it for Jonathan Barnes.
And they have been baiting out here in the flat, and finally Jaden Williams took the bait. They had him, had a guy underneath, and that was supposed to be a house call for the Duncanville Panthers.
3rd and 13. Play clock down to 6. Sox still disorganized. They've already had 1 delay of game on this drive.
They're going to call it.
And Jason Todd's going to have to burn his first second half timeout.
And I think as a coach, for Coach Todd and Coach Samples, you know, getting these guys, it's what's happening after the play that's slowing this game down for South Oak Cliff. They're spending way too much time jawing back and forth and not concentrating on getting back to the huddle and getting organized to run another play.
South Oak Cliff was handed an extra possession here with the penalty against Duncanville on what was 4th and 25, an unsportsmanlike penalty. Set up a fresh 1st and 10 for the Golden Bears at the 47. But since then, they've only gone backward, and they face 3rd and 13 as they try to pay off that gift. But they've got to get to the 43 in Duncanville territory to move the chains.
Finally, you start to see this KJ Ford matchup as he was able to beat his man off the right side.
Williams flushed forward over the middle. Big hit. Well timed. Good defensive play from Keelan Tryon. And it's a 3rd down stop for Duncanville.
Man, and this is Williams stepping up in the pocket. But again, it's so much zip on that ball and trying to fit that in between 2 defenders.
Victor Lincoln also there in coverage. He was one-on-one. And then Tryon came in and leveled the hit and forces the punt from South Oak Cliff. Good snap this time for Nate Coleman. Wobbly kick and a fair catch called for and made, only just barely, by Ace Theus.
Another helmet rolling on the floor. Yeah, this is,
as you just heard one of the players say.
Yeah, so the
how did his helmet get all the way down there?
The player that lost his helmet is standing at the 50.
That's number 8, Landon Barnes, whose helmet is 20 yards away from him. Jalen Manning delivering his hat back to him.
Wow. And that Mike speaks up. How did his helmet get down there? Yeah. That's a good question. Wish we could answer that.
Our Graham Rayner working hard down there on the sideline with the roving camera, picking up a little bit of everything tonight.
Well, luckily our cameras are over here on the Duncanville side. Probably got some choice words coming from the other side, and that's what I'm saying. If you're getting these shots, man, and things are getting chippy.
Officials running in to break this one up again. Zach Turner pleading his case. No flag on the play, but it is high intensity right now here in this third quarter. In a 3-score game, 35-14 Duncanville. It is not 2nd and 65, it's 2nd and 6. Denson over the middle, complete first down in the hands of Trenton Yancey, out across the 30.
Good job by Yancey recognizing where the sticks is, and he stops. And look at the delivery of this pass from Denson. And great awareness by junior wide receiver Trenton Yancey.
Handoff up the middle for Braden Arnold, breaking away into the second level across midfield, dragged down at the 42.
And we got another flag.
All the way back at the 24-yard line in the Duncanville backfield.
Good job by Braden Arnold.
Defense, they offset. First down.
It's like
usually with offsetting penalties, they would replay the down. Apparently, they're deeming that this was post-play dead ball offsetting penalties. So they will take the result of the play. Unsportsmanlike on both sides. So the run for Braden Arnold stands. And it's 1st and 10 for Duncanville in Sock territory. Play action. Denson trying to get away, dragged down from behind. He did a good job to make that a positive gain. Picked up a yard on the play.
And that's just Denson just pulling the pile forward. And Sock presenting some pressure. And Coach Ward still trying to mix up his pressure on this offense. Man, it just hadn't been working. You saw in that last play by Braden Arnold, he's just too slippery. Even when they have him bottled up, they find a way to get out and pick up positive yards.
2nd and 9, they bring the heat right up the middle. Denson gets away and just shot puts it downfield to avoid the sack in the direction of Zach Turner. No flag for intentional grounding. There was a receiver in the area.
Boy, lucky. And as we look at the replay, here
they're going to
comes
discuss
the
it. Hang on. They do confirm receiver in the area, Zach Turner, no penalty.
It wasn't very close. It's a big third down here for South Oak Cliff if they can hold.
3rd and 9, a delayed blitz. Denson steps into it and fires downfield. That's an opportunity for a pick, and it's picked off. Isaiah Udom with the interception. Takes a big hit as he brings it out to the 12-yard line. Isaiah Udom, the nickel corner, deep in coverage, makes the pick on what was a heave and a prayer from Max Denson on 3rd and long. It's not all that different, Heckma, from a punt in terms of its net effect, but a momentum-building play, if nothing else, for South Oak Cliff.
I'll tell you, took the words right out of my mouth. I was going to say that is just a glorified punt right there from Denson. You don't want that on the stat sheet, but completely understandable. He's under pressure. Coach Ward, again, bringing pressure from different areas.
You can hear Reginald Samples hollering at his team. Looked like he was saying to expect the run here on 1st and 10. They spot it at the 6-yard line. And it is a run up the middle with Trotter. Helmets flying again. This time it's Ja'Cory Johnson that loses his lid.
Hey, everybody on the side of 20. Come on.
Coaches and administrators directing traffic with the fans down on the sideline.
It's It's crowded. It's a lot of people here. Hey, a lot of press passes presented to get into this stadium. The media around here. And again, this is a who's who in this stadium. A ton of recruits, a ton of media outlets here as well.
2nd down and 10. They've got to get to the 16. Quick throw, complete. And a 1st down and then some for Torrin Teague out close to the 30-yard line.
I like Torrin Teague. I mean, he runs with purpose, but it is what he does after the catch.
He had 21 grabs a year ago. He's already creeping up on that total, and it's week 2 here in 2025. Right at the 30-yard stripe is where they spot it. 1st and 10 for South Oak Cliff. Up the middle, nowhere to go for Trotter. Tried to backtrack away and can't get away. Ja'Cory Johnson clogging up the lane again.
Yeah, that's KJ Ford. You see KJ Ford down there just completely taking over this game, and nothing they can do as there's a player down. Oh, man.
It's a Sock Golden Bear that is down on the field. Holding on to his left calf, lower knee area. I believe that is Mikhail Trotter, the young man who was just carrying the football.
Well, that is a big-time loss in this game if Trotter can't continue. And you could tell that young man is in a little bit of pain.
Jocelyn Shackelford, Vashon Blackshire, the athletic trainers for South Oak Cliff, Teresa Thomas as well, all out to attend to the senior running back who had a magnificent night a week ago against North Shore. Has an offer from Sacramento State being looked at by a number of other schools, and he's going to have to hop off, putting no pressure on that left leg.
And they took his shoe off, so it's no, it's just he's got spat on. I thought he was in his socks. But yeah, like you said, he's not putting any pressure. That is not a good sign.
They picked him up and carried him the last couple of yards off the field. You just got to hope for good news in that kind of situation, because that did not look good for Mikhail Trotter, who is so very important to the South Oak Cliff Golden Bears football team, and certainly an important young man outside of just what he can do on the football field. But you hate to see a kid in pain like that. Hopefully they get good news on Mikhail Trotter either tonight or in the next couple of days. Meanwhile, it's 2nd down and 12, and the throw goes on the far side, and again it's Torrin Teague. Beg your pardon, this is 13, not 3. Jalen Moore with the reception on the far sideline, and he'll have 11 of the 12 they needed. It's 3rd and 1.
You know, and again, Jayden Williams just calming down, getting the ball on the outside to his wide receivers. I'm glad that he found someone other than Torrin Teague, because you just come to expect that that's who's getting the ball.
3:47 in the 3rd. Handoff goes to Levon Morton. He will just barely have enough for the 1st down. Friday Night Football sponsored by Texas de Brazil. Brazilian flavors, Texas spirit. Enjoy the best of both worlds, where Brazilian culinary traditions meet the bold flavors of Texas. Come for the food, stay for the adventure. First and 10 at the 40. Screen pass for Teague. Finds the tunnel. Teague spins his way into Duncanville territory with another 1st down. This young man is special.
Yeah, it is. And the thing is that the show starts for Torrin Teague after he catches the ball. And look at this. Again, how aggressive he is. He is immediately downhill, trying to add some extra yardage to it. The spin move, splitting the defenders. It's a great job by Torrin Teague.
Now there is a Duncanville Panther down. My apologies, Heckma, for cutting you off there. Haven't been able to see a number on who this young man is. Looks like that may be 24. Yusuf Adabite, the junior outside linebacker. This looks more like a cramp the way they're working on that left leg. Trying to work it out with that toe. You see him kind of working his toe around, trying to loosen things up. It is a humid night down there.
Yeah, it is.
There are a number of teams around the area that are dealing with lightning delays right now. We have been fortunate, knock on wood, to avoid that fate so far this evening, and it is Adebite that is back on his feet and walking off under his own power. Again, that looked like a textbook cramp situation, and hydrating up, and you got to imagine you'll see 24, the junior linebacker, back on the field here soon. Still a lot of time left in this football game, Hackma. 15 minutes to work with here for South Oak Cliff. If they can go down and get points here, this game is not over just yet. Throw far side, just off target. Looking for Torrentine, looking to get him in space once again.
Yeah, he is their playmaker, and he's right now, he is an extension of the running game, is Torrentine. Defensively, though, Coach Bonner, what he's done is switch up his coverages, moving his cornerbacks a little bit closer. Safeties, keeping that too high safety look on them, and just pretty much forcing Jayden Williams to throw into an area.
Second and 10, handoff for Morton. Runs into his own blocker and bulls his way inside the 40 to the 38-yard line, a pickup of 8, and it's 3rd and 2.
And I think you see right there the difference between these two runners. And look, as explosive as Morton is, Trotter is just a different speed of back.
They'll go to the air on 3rd and 2. Fumble, picked up by Duncanville. Right on top of it immediately is Gatlin Cryer, the junior. Second turnover of the game created by Duncanville.
And none other than our player of the game, KJ Ford. Look at 10, coming around the horn, recognizing that that pocket is breaking down. They're forcing him back up. What does he do? He gets that paw on the top of that ball and knocks it out. That's a great job by the Florida commit. You see it again. He sees the pocket breaking down. And just, boy, there's nothing Williams can do. KJ Ford is barreling down on him.
Landon Barnes created some of the pressure to begin the play. That was what flushed Williams forward in the pocket in the first place. And then the other four-star defensive end, KJ Ford, comes through and forces the fumble. Cryer with the recovery. And now on 1st and 10, the carry. Robert Singleton picks up 5, and it's 2nd and 5. Just a nightmare for an opposing quarterback to have KJ Ford and Landon Barnes bearing down on you.
It's called keep your head on the swivel, Mike. Make sure you don't lose track of those hunters coming around the corner. But not only that, man, he's had so much pressure in his face this entire game.
Good job by the Sock defensive front to stack this one up. A loss of a couple. It's going to be 3rd down and 8. As they push the entire Duncanville offensive line backward.
You know, I think for Duncanville, this is a team that so often we talk about the district that they're in, the district of doom, and they call it so because you play the likes of the DeSotos, the Waxahachis, the Cedar Hill. All of these teams have gotten stronger, so it doesn't get any easier from here. Duncanville is going to be tested each and every week.
They'll play Waxahachie 2 weeks from tonight in their next game. 40 seconds left in the quarter here, and Duncanville uses their first timeout. Next week on Friday Night Football, a matchup of defending state champions, a pair of #1 teams in the state. The Salina Bobcats, #1 in 4A Division I, defending champions, and the Gunner Tigers, #1 in 3A Division II, also defending champs. That game at a neutral site at Melissa. It was a Gunner home game that both coaches mutually decided, hey, let's move this to a bigger venue because they knew they had a big crowd out last year when they played at Salina. Gunner Stadium is much smaller. They didn't feel like they'd be able to fit the crowd in at Gunner, so they move it to Melissa, and we'll have that one for you next week here on Friday Night Football. If you haven't seen Salina's quarterback, Bo Bentley, you should. One of the top 10 quarterbacks in the country.
Going to Oklahoma, Bo Bentley.
He's a stud, man.
Yes, he is.
Third down and 8 out of the timeout. Throw over the middle, incomplete. And Sock gets a crucial stop there after the fumble. It's 4th down and 8.
I just want to say Brent Venables has got himself a star.
Yeah.
Coming to Norman. I'm sure he's not concentrating on that tonight as he's got bigger things to worry about with the Michigan Wolverines coming to Norman, Oklahoma.
Bo Bentley had 30 offers, a 4-star prospect rated as the #8 quarterback in the country according to 24/7 Sports, and on his way to Norman. So Sock makes a crucial defensive stop after the fumble to get their offense the football back. What can Levon Morton do here on the punt return? He's already got one big punt return for a touchdown, this time cut down at the 26.
How did he get that ball? I mean, you could play... This guy could play shortstop the way that he got under that one. Unbelievable, because that thing could check up on you, hit you in the face mask, and go the other way. Great job by Morton.
So 1st and 10 at the 26, 23 seconds left here in this third quarter. Sock down 3 scores. At this point, you're starting to run out of possessions in the football game. You need to go get points right now. Morton lowers his shoulder and pushes forward to the 30. It's going to be a lot of Levon Morton the rest of the way, with Mikhail Trotter going out with the injury. Again, our thoughts with that young man. Hopefully they get some good news relative to Mikhail Trotter. This is a Sock team that is already dealing with some injuries on the defensive side of the ball. Jamarian Phillips, Marcel Gibson, a pair of 3-star prospects that are out tonight because of injury. You hope that Trotter isn't out for any significant period of time. 35-14 after 3 here in Duncanville on Friday Night Football.
Thanks, Delkus.
Thanks, Delkus.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
Discover WFAA Plus, a live 24-hour stream of WFAA news and exclusive digital content, all completely free. Now available on Apple TV, Roku, and Fire TV. Download WFAA Plus today.
End zone shot. What a catch! Catch a live broadcast of every play of the biggest high school football games. Next week, Salina versus Gunner. Stream the broadcast free next Friday night at 7 on
Back for the start of the fourth, a 3-score game, 2nd down and 6, flipping it near side, and with a lot of running room up the near sideline, off to the races goes Devontae Hill, and Devontae Hill to the pylon, he's in. Touchdown, South Oak Cliff. A lightning strike on the first play of the fourth quarter, and it's down to a 2-score game.
Maybe lightning strike wasn't the word you wanted to use, but it was fast. He got there in a hurry, Mike. We don't need any talk about lightning.
No
but
weather,
how about
please.
This?
Yeah.
How about this? The afterburners are on, and nobody's going to catch them.
Devontae Hill, the senior receiver with the house call, and Sock has cut it It's not 35-26. They're having some trouble with the in-house scoreboard. It is
wow,
35-20.
Where have I been? I missed a lot.
It is 35-20. And Sock will try the PAT. However, down to a 2-score game just like that. Extra point is good. 35-21. Jaden Williams with his first touchdown pass of the night, his 4th of the year. Devontae Hill didn't make a catch last week. That's a big-time play to make a big impact in a big football game. And kind of game on right now. After a 70-yard touchdown, it's a 2-score game.
Well, that is a senior saying, I have waited for this moment, and I am going to capitalize on it. And that's exactly what Devontae Hill did, as he caught out. You know, Mike, while you're sitting there fumbling the battery, can I say this? I want to give a special shout out to my Aunt Quinette, who is watching tonight in Oak Cliff.
Aunt Fournette.
Quinette.
Oh, I'm sorry, Quinette. I heard you. Aunt Quinette.
Yeah, Quinette. My Aunt Quinette is watching, so I want to say hello to my Aunt Quinette, and it just puts a smile on my face when she sends me a text message to let me know that she's watching.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
That is very, very cool.
My favorite.
Aunt Quinette. Aunt Quinette. Thank you for watching tonight, Aunt Quinette. Surprise onside? No.
Yeah.
I wondered. Short kick fielded at the 15 by Ace Theus. And Ace Theus has got a seam out to the 37. And good field position for Duncanville as they now look to find an answer and probably also look to burn a little bit of this 4th quarter clock.
Well, I'll tell you, they better get behind this running game. They've been quick strike on offense, and maybe this isn't the night to try and give this ball back to South Oak Cliff.
Sox defense has been up to the task in this second half. The only points they have given up came after the snap that went over the head of their quarterback, Jaden Williams, from 2 yards away. That's it in this second half for the Duncanville offense. So if Sock can go make another stop here, which they've shown the ability to do in this second half, then it really might get interesting. Ace Theus on the little pop pass, nowhere to go. Strung out really well by the Sock defense, and it's Jairion Hampton that finishes it off.
The pursuit is there, and you gotta feel like, you know, this South Oak Cliff defense, they're not going to give up. A ton of pressure still being presented by Coach Ward.
They said they wanted to bring pressure against Denson and not let him get comfortable. The junior right there in the middle of your screen wearing number 3, his first start on varsity. He only threw 4 passes a year ago. Now he's the guy.
Oh.
Up the middle, nowhere to go. Woo-hoo. Knifing through for the stop is number 42, Cody Smith.
Yeah, they sent Cody Smith on a kamikaze mission, and he got there in a hurry.
Wow. 3rd and long. They really like this kid, Cody Smith, the sophomore. They said he played a terrific game a week ago against North Shore. And a really nice play right there. 3rd and 14. They've got to get to the 47. They go swing pass for Zach Turner. He gets a good chunk of it, but he won't get all of it. Gets to the 42. It's going to be 4th and 5.
Well, I was just thinking to myself, if they let Zach Turner pick up this first down, that is going to be a back-breaking first down.
Yeah.
Great job by the South Oak Cliff defense getting off the field, forcing the punt. Now here is the danger zone area here for the Panthers. Do you punt it after being burned by Morton?
He had a 78-yard punt return for a touchdown mid-first quarter. He's also got a touchdown run on the night. High snap, what a catch! Oh my, what a play to catch that football and get that punt away. That is unbelievable work. Trenton Yancey, who is their superstar wide receiver, made his best catch of the night right there.
How in the world?
And gets the punt off and flips field position, by the way. Heck of a punt as well, all the way to the 13-yard line. And a fair catch made by Sock. Trenton Yancey won't make a better catch maybe all season.
And like I hear you talk about every game, the things that don't make the stat sheet. And that's one that won't appear on the stat sheet, but boy, that saved the Panthers. And look at the flip of field position as you were talking about.
1st and 10 for South Oak Cliff, and that one is bounced. Incomplete pass, it was forward just barely. Intended for Jalen Moore. So despite the catch by Trenton Yancey and the really nice punt, it is South Oak Cliff football. Down just 2 scores with 9:21 left in this 4th quarter. Can the Golden Bears mount another drive here?
Yeah, they need to. This is when you need your stud running back in Mikael Trotter, who is out of the game. And again, you said, man, hope he's okay. But man, you would love to get behind that running game and throw this Panthers defense off.
That snap got away from Jaden Williams, and he's fortunate that wasn't picked off by Yusuf Adebite.
Adebite with a cramp would have limped to the end zone. That's how close he was if he was able to pick that one off.
The snap got a little squirrely in the hands of Jaden Williams, and that threw off the timing of the play as he looked for Jalen Moore. And just like that, it's 3rd and 10 in a heartbeat for South Oak Cliff.
They are lucky Adebite didn't pick that one off.
Spur Dog Madness in the YouTube comment says this is a huge drive. Can South Oak Cliff make it a drive? They need a 1st down here. Flags. Will they give Jason Todd the timeout first? Yes, they will. His 2nd timeout. So Sock down to just 1 timeout left. That's a costly timeout to give away.
Yeah, it is. And I think after this, the only time that you can stop the clock, or that the clock will stop for you, will be the 2-minute warning. My question for Jaden Williams, because all of the passes that he's been throwing has been out in the flat, can he extend this either with his legs if it breaks down, or at least something that's stretching the field? Can he get the time, though, to make that kind of throw?
Just a little over an hour from now, be sure to join us for Friday Night Football 5th quarter, our new post-game streaming show just here on WFA Plus. Tonight at 10:40, highlights from all around the area. Joe Trahan's out at the DeSoto North Crowley game. We've got Michelle Montaigne up at the Highland Park Lovejoy game. Highlights from this game as well. Those 3 and much more from all around North Texas tonight at 10:40. Right here on WFAA Plus.
Where's Jonah tonight?
I think Jonah might be off tonight.
Jonah's off? Y'all give Jonah? Yeah, really? What's going on in WFAA?
Down in 10. Deep ball. Too tall for his intended target. He was looking for Torrin Teague. It would have been a spectacular catch.
And that's what I was asking. Will he give him one of his playmakers an opportunity to make a big play on the ball, and you're trying to get that in between the safety and corner, and just not going to get there.
Jonathan Barnes back in coverage. Braylon Edwards in the vicinity as well. 4th down and 10, and Sock has no choice but to punt it away this deep in their own territory. They've got a hustle down to 6 on the play clock. They've had 1 snap get high. That one's bounced. Caught, but the punt is going to be very short to the near sideline and out of bounds. We'll see where they spot this. A Duncanville cheerleader caught that punt on the bounce.
No way.
And they are celebrating her right now. They will mark it at the 28-yard line in Sock territory. Duncanville in range right now for a knockout blow.
You know, Mike, when we were talking with Coach Samples, you know, I asked him, you know, how does it feel when you go up against one of your former players, former coaches, you know, and just seeing Jason Todd and the success that he has had, how did that make him feel? And, man, he just glowed in his answer about Jason Todd and what he's built over at South Oak Cliff. Just a proud moment. But Coach Reginald Samples never lost a game to one of his assistants, so this means a lot to him.
Good, tough run here from Braden Arnold. What should have been no gain, he picks up 3. That's South Oak Cliff. There's a flag down on the play. Let's check this.
Legal blast that ball. Number 6, Duncanville, 15-yard first down.
So Trenton Yancey gets called for the illegal blindside block. Probably coming down the line of scrimmage and hitting a linebacker. What used to be a very common play in football, they've taken that play out of the game. And it's a 15-yard penalty as a result. But you and I talked about this earlier this week. The Reginald Samples coaching tree is vast. It got larger this past offseason. 7 coaches leaving his staff in the offseason, 3 of them to go get new head coaching jobs. He spawns a new head coach seemingly every other offseason, if not more. 3 just this past offseason. The impact he has made is impossible to calculate.
Yeah, it's so many guys that have, one, played for him and coached for him. And it's so hard, as he talked to us about it, man. Those coaches are getting poached off of his staff each and every year, but he also has those that come back. Coach Judd Thrash, that was once a head coach, has come back to be the secondary coach here at Duncanville. So just because they leave, they don't stay away.
Right.
Most of the time they come back because they know that each and every year here at Duncanville, you're coaching for championships.
2nd down and 36 after the penalty. If Sauk can get the football back, if they can make a stop here, pressure, Denson fires deep, single coverage, diving to make the catch, Trenton Yancey. Forget what I said earlier about the catch on the punt snap. Yeah, that catch might have been better. Unbelievable.
They said it wasn't a catch.
Oh my goodness, now they're saying incomplete. Take another look at this one. I thought he hauled it in for sure.
What?
Oh, man, I don't know.
The officials are saying it hit the ground.
Wow. Trenton Yancey pointing to the video board here in-house, trying to plead his case with the officials. My word. I mean, it was close. I do see, like, the ball moved a bit as he landed, but I still think he may have had forearms underneath it.
That was an unbelievable catch. And it may not make the books, but we saw it, Trenton.
Wow.
That was a phenomenal catch. Referees down there on the field, they get the closer look at it. Wow.
That is absolutely fair. The official on that far sideline had a much better look at it than certainly anybody in the Duncanville crowd did, certainly even than our camera did. Timeout called by Duncanville. Let's take one more look at that play if we can, Clay Marshall. Because this was a sensational effort, if nothing else, from Trenton Yancey. There's a reason this young man is a 4-star prospect. Nice throw by Denson, too.
What?
I don't know, man. Watching that in full speed, that looks like a catch. He certainly felt like he caught it, got up and celebrated like there was no question. This is the reverse angle.
Oh, that's a catch.
Man.
Oh, man. Great job by our camera crew.
Yeah, that's a great couple looks at it. That looks like a catch. Samp De Leon in the comments, he says he caught it. Don't Dez us.
Don't Dez us. Oh, my. Don't Dez. Oh, I feel
Dustin Culbert in the comments says that was a catch.
Don't Dez us.
Good note here from John Lasker in the YouTube comments. He's correct about this. No instant replay no replay review in Texas high school football unless it is the 12 state championship games at AT&T Stadium. That is the one spot in which they will do a review. Third and a mile. Whistles here before they could really get the play going. They're going to restart the play. I'm not sure
what happened.
It looked like everybody on both sides was ready. Both teams were playing.
Let's see. What do we got here?
I don't know. 7:44 left here in this fourth quarter. If Sock can get a stop here and get their offense back on the football field, they still have a chance in this game. Well protected is Denson. Now he tries to escape the pocket. Ripped down from behind. There is a flag behind the play in the vicinity of what would be a hold. Denson pulled down from behind, and it will be 4th and very long. If that's a hold on Duncanville, which is the preliminary signal, penalty is, as expected, declined. 4th down, Duncanville. 7:37 on the clock. 2-score game.
Wow.
I just received a text message, by the way, from Andrew Seeley, our WFA producer back at the station. We mentioned the fact that Friday Night Football 5th quarter is coming up at 10:40. Potentially not, only because Joe's game is in a lightning delay, North Crowley and DeSoto. Michelle's game, Highland Park Lovejoy, just about to start because of a lightning delay. So they are having very long nights. That punt is into the end zone from Trenton Yancey. It will come out as a touchback. A little bit more extracurriculars after the play down on the near side. No flags down. And Sock will take over at the 20.
Wow. You know, look, I just got to say this. Trenton Yancey, he's going to be upset about that, not being called a catch. And I understand that there isn't any instant replay. But young man, that's a catch. All right, that's a phenomenal catch. One, and then on top of that, he makes the highlight reel as far as a punter, not as a receiver.
Yeah, that was a special play, man.
Another great catch.
But here's South Oak Cliff again with an opportunity here. 1st and 10 from the 20. They put Torrin Teague in there at quarterback and had him take the direct snap. And he's able to pick up 6 on the play.
Hey, I don't blame him. You need to get something going. Torrin Teague has been your best option as far as a guy making plays out there.
It looks like he's going to continue at quarterback.
Hey, just put the ball in your playmaker's hands.
So Teague, who's been special on the outside at the receiver position, now taking over in the backfield along with Levon Morton. He'll hand off to Morton this time. Morton able to get to the sideline, and he's got the first down. This is an interesting wrinkle for the Duncanville defense now going to have to deal with, because that threat of Torrin Teague taking off and run with it becomes a little bit more real.
Yeah, I think, one, you know what Torrin Teague presents as far as a playmaker with the ball in his hands. They don't want to let this guy out of the back door. So this is 6:31. This would be a perfect time for KJ Ford to close the curtains.
1st and 10 at the 35. Pressure. Teague trying to escape. Flips it downfield. Incomplete. Just beyond the grasp of Devontae Hill as he tried to keep his feet in bounds. Couldn't wait long enough on it.
So what we know now from Torrin Teague is not the passer. As you see KJ Ford with the pressure, as I was calling for it.
Yeah, that's the one thing about this change that South Oak Cliff is making, is down 2 scores. They do need to be pretty quick with whatever they do in the late stages of this football game. And Jaden Williams, who admittedly has not had his best night, but he can sling it around. He showed that last week against North Shore. They do go to the air here, and Teague throws a rope on the far sideline. That's a good throw, complete to Delvin Cook, and it's going to be 3rd and short.
Torrin Teague, I was wrong. I won't judge you on that last play, but that was better.
Appreciate Dustin Colbert in the YouTube comments as he's watching from Missouri tonight, says he's got a lot of family here in the DF-Dub. He said high school football in Texas is top-notch. Yes, indeed. Doesn't get better than Texas high school football, and these two teams are part of that for sure. Levon Morton lowering his shoulder, and he's into Duncanville territory. South Oak Cliff starting to feel themselves a little bit here in this second half.
guys from Missouri. It's like a timeout being taken here, Mike.
Timeout called by Duncanville. That's their final timeout of the football game.
There's a lot of time still left.
This is a slow-moving football game. This was a 7 o'clock kickoff. 9:48 now at night, and still 6:11 left in this fourth quarter.
We've had a lot of penalties.
Yeah. The YouTube comments still lighting up about whether or not that was a catch by Trenton Yancey down that far sideline on that last Duncanville possession. Friday Night Football is sponsored by Texas de Brazil, an experience for all senses, from the sizzle of skewers on the grill to the vibrant colors of our fresh offerings. Texas de Brazil is a feast for your eyes, ears, and taste buds. Duncanville band trying to bring the volume right now, ahead of 1st and 10 for South Oak Cliff. Heckma, their window to get back level in this game is narrow, but Sock is not dead here.
It is narrow. Let's just call it now. They got to get something going right now, and the switch at quarterback, I think, is throwing the Duncanville defense off.
It is still Torrin Teague in there at quarterback. He'll keep it himself after the flake. Nowhere to go. Dylan Williams there to gobble him up, maybe a gain of 1.5 yards.
They still have got to take a shot up the field. That's where I worry about this switch at quarterback.
Yeah.
Can Torrin Teague, we've seen him make a play on the throw to the sideline. Can he throw it to the middle of the field and not put the ball in harm's way?
2nd down and 8. Quarterback draw. Teague trying to fight his way through the traffic in the middle, maybe gained 1 yard. 5.5 to play in the fourth. It's 3rd down.
Boy, lucky to get out of that one. Lucky to get out of that one.
Injury timeout on the field. I don't see a player down for either team.
Yeah, KJ Ford was down, and
Ford is now again down. You see just behind our scoreboard on the near sideline, right next to Reginald Samples, and being tended to. That is the last player Duncanville could ever afford to lose. You hope again that this is a cramping situation, and the way he shrugged off the assistant coaches and the training staff leads you to believe that that's probably the case. That looks like more frustration and pain than anything else.
Yeah,
pulling at his right calf, and certainly looks more like a cramp than anything else. 2,700 of you with us right now on the WFA YouTube channel. Thank you all so much for being with us tonight. We do appreciate it. Throw far side, short of the intended target. It's 4th down.
Well, we'll consider this 4-down territory with 5:11.
No doubt. Not enough time left in the football game to punt it away.
What is the play going to be? Because his Coach Bonner-led defense, they've been playing bend but don't break here in the second half, but right now I think you've given them a quarterback that I think that they could sit back and feast on. All they're worried about right now is him getting out of the pocket and trying to make something, create something with his legs.
4th and 7, deep shot, single coverage, too long, and a second DB getting in the area, no flag, down, and Duncanville gets the stop.
Well, I think if you put that one a little bit, make that more of a 50-50 ball, your chances of getting a flag right there may increase, but that was just too far for the receiver to make a play on that ball. But I'll tell you what, this has been an effort by South Oak Cliff. It seems like this game in years past has always been a 35, 13, 35. It's always around this number.
It was 34-12 and 34-13 in consecutive years,
Yes.
the last 2 times they played. Sock has made it a smidge closer tonight, and they'd certainly love to still pull closer, but they're going to need to make another defensive stop. Pressure on Denson. He gets it away. Zach Turner makes the catch, but look at the Sock defense flying around. Nice play by Xavier Mayfield.
Yeah, that was an easy read for Xavier Mayfield. He diagnoses that play and gets downhill in a hurry. That's a great defensive effort for Coach Ward's group.
A loss of, call it 3 on the play. They still haven't set the stick on the far side. You can see it at the top of the screen, but they're saying 2nd and 13 based on where the ball is there at the 40. Pressure up the middle again from Sock on a run blitz, and they knife through and cut it down again. Cody Smith first on the scene. Nowhere to go for Robert Singleton, and it's 3rd and long.
That's a ton. That is a ton of pride on that side.
Yeah.
From the South Oak Cliff defense. Just imagine if you don't have that miscue to start the 3rd quarter off. This is a ball game at this point.
That is the difference in the game.
Yes.
That is the difference in this being a more realistic opportunity. Like Sock's like, hey, if we get a stop, we can go down and tie the football game. That's the difference right there, is that one snap over the head of Jaden Williams at the very beginning of this half. 3rd and long. Denson trying to escape. Run to the near sideline and taken down at the original line of scrimmage. There is a flag down. Jamari Stewart is pointing toward Duncanville, celebrating, thinking that the flag is against the Panthers.
Personal foul on this save. Blindside block, number 6 of Duncanville. 15-yard penalty.
I feel like if you're South Oak Cliff, don't you decline the penalty and take the result of the play? It would be 4th and 10.
Yeah,
you need to get the ball back as fast as possible.
And I think that's what everyone's kind of bewildered about, them taking the decline it. 4th and 10, ball will be spotted.
They are going to, I think they're still sorting this out. I think they are going to decline it, take the result of the play, and take 4th and 10. That's the no doubt decision here, based on where Denson was taken down right at that 43-yard line. Because at this point, what's more important than the yardage is the time on the clock. You don't want to give Duncanville an opportunity, certainly not to go get the first down if they can pull off a miracle on. There you go.
Yeah,
penalty is declined.
Trent Yancey's just out here ear-holing people. It's just, that's his 2nd blindside block today.
Yeah.
So
what a different game this could be, though, if not for that snap over the head of Jaden Williams. It would be a 1-score game right now.
And I think everybody would be on their feet right now because of how close this game should be. But this, hey, look, no sense in crying over spilled milk in this situation. I think the South Oak Cliff, man, they played a tight ball game. 3:16, 3:15 left here. Boy. This will be big time if they're able to bring this punt back. They've already done it before.
Officially 4th and a dozen. High snap again. Yancey again able to scale up and grab it. Short kick to the near sideline that will check up and bounce back toward the field of play. 2:51, 2:50 even on the clock as that ball is downed at the 24, and Sock will take over. You can't help but wonder, will we see Jaden Williams now, because they have to push the football downfield? Will they flip-flop back with the quarterback, or will it be Torrin Teague again?
And I'm looking for him, I believe. Torrin Teague's still out there.
Yep, Torrin Teague, it will once again be at the quarterback position. First and 10 for Sock at the 24. 2 minutes and 50 seconds to work with. 1 timeout and the 2-minute warning all they have to work with. Teague himself up the middle, breaking tackles and breaking away, and Torrin Teague will score. There are no flags on the field. South Oak Cliff has cut it to a 1-score game with 2:34 to play.
Mike Leslie, what just happened?
Torrin Teague just went beast mode.
What just happened? We're talking about the quarterback and really not questioning the move by Coach Jason Todd, but obviously he knows the best chance to get back in this game is to unleash Torrin Teague. And I think for all the people that left a little early, they may be making their way back into the stadium.
1-score game.
Oh my goodness.
35-28. 2:34 on the clock in the fourth. Torrin Teague going right up the middle, breaking tackles.
Oh, look.
Stiff-arming his way through Keelan Tryon. And taking it to the house. 76 yards for the touchdown. It's a 1-score game with 2:34 to play on Friday Night Football. End zone shot. What a catch.
Catch a live broadcast of every play of the biggest high school football games. Next week, Salina versus Gunner. Stream the broadcast free next Friday night at 7 on WFAA+.
Back in Duncanville, some slightly nervy moments here for the Duncanville Panthers on their home field. Their lead cut to a single score, Hackma Harrison. What do you do here if you're South Oak Cliff?
This 2:34, this is, you better get your hands team out here because I am onside kicking, and I believe that's what they have set up. As you know, as you can tell right now, look at that receiving team for Duncanville. They are expecting an onside kick.
It's Cesar Olvera that will kick it for Sock. Pooch kick, not an onside kick, up the far sideline, and kneeling on it quickly, smartly, at the 26-yard line is Isaiah Beal. So Sock elects to play defense here with 2:32 left.
I wonder if they were just trying to get it in between that space and just put too much leg into it. But neither of these teams have a timeout. This is going to be a very interesting.
Sock has the one.
They have
Sock
one.
has one, yes. But that's not going to do you a whole lot of good in terms of stopping the clock. They do also have the 2-minute timeout, though.
Yes.
So they've got, if they can get a 3 and out here, they can get the football back with maybe a minute 20-ish on the clock if they could get a 3 and out, because Duncanville will be able to one time let an entire play clock expire. Handoff coming to the near side in the hands of Asen Theus. Knifes forward to the 36, a pickup of 5. It's 2nd and 5, and Sock elects not. Now they will use the timeout. It doesn't matter a whole lot whether they used it right after the play or now, because Duncanville's likely going to run the ball again, and the clock will run after this next play down to the 2-minute warning. What is going to ultimately matter here is whether Duncanville can pick up a first down, obviously, and then whether or not Duncanville decides to throw it on 3rd down, if there is a 3rd down, after the 2-minute timeout.
I think that's the risk you take if, as far as this wide receiving core that they have, I mean, they haven't been stopped a lot. And I'm still saying to Trent Yancey that was a catch. So just a reminder to everyone out there.
That's another play that, I mean, that play would have ended the game if it was ruled a catch.
Basically. But this right now for South Oak Cliff, they have got to get a stop, big time stop here on second down and the 2-minute warning. I can't say enough about the implementation of the 2-minute warning in Texas high school football and what that means. You have games like this where in the past you're just able to run the clock out and, you know, get out with a W.
Yeah.
That 2-minute warning it's going to mean a lot.
It changes what Jason Todd decided to do there, I'm sure, on that kickoff. He felt like, hey, we've got 2 stoppages in front of us. We can kick it away and play defense, especially with the way his defense has played here in the second half. But they have to get a stop here. Handoff up the middle, taken down immediately. Braden Arnold with nowhere to go, and it's 3rd down and 5. The clock will bleed down to that 2-minute timeout, and then the stoppage. 35-28 the score. Duncanville leading by 7, but needing a first down on 3rd down. After this, on Friday Night Football.
End zone shot. What a catch! Catch a live broadcast of every play of the biggest high school football games. Next week, Salina versus Gunner. Stream the broadcast free next Friday night at 7 on WFAA+.
The Cowboys getting set to take on the Chargers, and we've got it covered for you on WFAA. The Cowboys trying to get off to a high...
Back in Duncanville, 3rd down and 5. The game hangs on this play. Will Reginald Samples tally yet another win? He's looking for win number 354 in his career. 6th on the all-time wins list. His team needs a first down here to salt it away. Heck, but they've got to get to the 41.
And this is where you say, what is the call that you dial up? Do you allow Denson to put this ball in the air?
It's a handoff to Arnold. No, it's going to be Denson to keep it coming to the near sideline. He's close. It's going to depend on the spot.
Oh, no, he didn't get there. He did
no
not
flag on the contact out of bounds. The far side line judge has him marked short by about half a yard. The near side line judge got distracted by the play out of bounds.
He did. He did. He's back. Look at him backing up here.
He was going to throw a flag and decided not to.
No, no, no. Look at that. They got to back this. They got to back this ball up. That's a generous spot where the ball is right now.
They have it right at the 41-yard line, the nose of the football sitting halfway through the 41-yard hash mark, and you can see the stick at the very top of your screen just beyond that 41-yard mark.
Wow. Look at the line. I was going off of where the line judge was on this side.
Yeah.
Based off of where that spot is, that's going to be a first down for the Panthers.
I don't know, man. It's really, really close. Like, this might be 2 links of a chain short. He's short. Is that 4 inches?
Yeah, I don't know. That is close, Graham. Get up on that one.
4th and 4 inches for Duncanville. Will they go for it to put the game away? Or will Reginald Samples elect to punt it? They don't have any timeouts.
So they're telling him down there, you don't have any timeouts.
Play clock is running.
It is.
At 20 right now as they break the huddle on the sideline. They are going to go for it here. They're going to go heavy package with Jalen Manning to take the direct snap, the linebacker. They're going to follow Manning. For the first down, it's Theus to move the chains and end the football game. Ace Theus, the star wide receiver, takes the direct snap, follows the middle linebacker Jalen Manning and picks up the game-deciding first down.
All he had to do was follow 5 to pick up that first down, and that is going to seal it for Duncanville.
And Duncanville can kneel it out now. Sock out of timeouts. 2 or 3 kneel downs for Max Denson, and it will be over. It should only require 2, I believe. If my math is correct, he can bleed this down to about 1:16 before he snaps it here. And Duncanville is going to hang on and win this one. Heckma 35-28 will be the final score as long as Duncanville can avoid calamity here in the final minute. And they will start the season 1-0. But did they ever have to hang on down the stretch against South Oak Cliff? And does that snap over the head of Jaden Williams ever loom large? That is 6 of the 7 points worth of difference in this football game right there. Duncanville scored 29 in the first half. The only 6 points they scored in the second half came a play after that fumble that was recovered at the 2-yard line. Braden Arnold ran it in for the score, but it is enough for them to hang on and win it. 35-28 the final score. As good a game as we've ever seen between Sock and Duncanville in now their 7 meetings all time. This was a battle right to the end.
Yes, it was. And look, highly competitive, 2 very proud high schools, and gutsy performance by Duncanville. Obviously, South Oak Cliff didn't do themselves any favors with some of the penalties, and obviously the snap that went over the head to start off the third quarter. And a great job and a great way to finish the game. And, 2 very good teams played here today.
Stay tuned after the game. We'll take a break here in a moment. We'll come back with the Friday Night Football play of the game, sponsored by the Children's Health by the Children's Health Andrews Institute. Also the Friday Night Football player of the game, sponsored by Texas Day Brazil. All that coming your way here in just a couple of moments. A couple of contenders for both of those titles, Heckma Harrison. 2,700 of you still with us right now on the WFA YouTube channel. I just want to say thank you to all of you for tuning in tonight, both here on YouTube and on WFA Plus. And one more reminder, we'll be back here at Duncanville in, 4 weeks' time, 5 weeks' time, October 10th. Duncanville hosting DeSoto in their annual rivalry matchup. Last I saw DeSoto in a dogfight with North Crowley, trailing 22-21 in that game, but they've been in a weather delay for a while. I don't know if they've gotten that game back going yet. DeSoto was up at one point 21-7, but then they trailed 22-21. As of 7 minutes ago, I'm seeing a tweet from Charles Baggerly that they are still in a delay at just a little after 10 o'clock. No restart time set at this point. They've got some time still. They've got basically until midnight. You and I know all too well from our game up at, oh goodness, where were we? Decatur a couple of years ago with a game that didn't restart until 11:57. So they've got time if they want to wait around. But they are still in a weather delay out there in North Crowley. But the winner tonight, the Duncanville Panthers, Heckma Harrison, 35-28 the final. And maybe not the cleanest game Reginald Sample's team has ever played, but against a very talented South Oak Cliff opponent, there's reason to celebrate the victory tonight.
No, they have every reason to celebrate their first game of the season. And look, it wasn't exact science. They played a little sloppy, and I think those are things that you can go back to the lab and you can clean up. They will be better the next time around. I think the next game that they're going to have is actually in 2 weeks.
Yes, they only have 8 games this year.
That's weird.
It's so bizarre. He said they had a little scheduling snafu with their out-of-state partner, St. Francis out of Maryland. They had a mix-up with them. That was what led to that game not happening. So this is their only non-district game all year. They'll have another bye week, and then they'll play Waxahachie. They'll play Skyline the next week, then another bye week before that DeSoto game we're talking about on October 10th. It's a weird schedule this year for Duncanville.
That is weird, but here's my point is that they are in a district where they can't relax. Waxahachie is a lot better than what they were, than what they remember. They have a quarterback and a wide receiver and a defense to go with it. So I know that Cedar Hill, there are a lot of teams in this district that can't wait to see Duncanville. And tonight, I tell you, South Oak Cliff, they came close. I can't say enough about the opening third quarter fumble. But that's one of those things that Coach Jason Todd's not going to beat his squad up about it. They competed. They had to make some changes at quarterback, and I'm going to leave this game and say Torrin Teague. Yeah. Torrin Teague, we saw this young man hurdle people, and we also seen him take over at quarterback and also make this game interesting. Man, they just ran out of time.
South Oak Cliff, valiant but vanquished tonight. 35-28 the final. We'll come back. Play of the game, player of the game when we return to Duncanville on Friday Night Football.
End zone shot. What a catch! Catch a live broadcast of every play of the biggest high school football games. Next week, Salina versus Gunner. Stream the broadcast free next Friday night at 7 on WFAA+.
Thanks, Delkus.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
WFAA has a legacy of changing the system.
Most recently, we did a story on ankle monitors and how they don't work, and how criminals are committing crimes with ankle monitors. And yeah, there's legislative change coming.
Our 2-year investigation caught the attention of state representatives. Now, it's a crime to cut off ankle monitors.
I want people to see things that we need to hold people accountable for.
Here's tonight's Friday Night Football Play of the Game, sponsored by the Children's Health Andrews Institute.
Oh, Torrin Teague. Torrin Teague, the senior wide receiver for the South Oak Cliff Golden Bears, put on a show with this one. Whee! To the moon. What a night this kid had, and that was a special play, Heckman.
Man, look, he didn't do it just once. He
right.
did it twice. But we got the best one. Torrin Teague came out, and he absolutely showed out tonight. Man, it's too bad that they came up short, but that was absolutely worthy of the play of the game. Again, didn't even touch the defender.
I know.
Yikes.
Unbelievable work from Torrin Teague.
Yeah.
Torrin Teague, really, really impressive. We'll come back with the player of the game right after this on Friday Night Football.
What's up, football fans? It's the best time of the year. Every Monday morning, we want to hear what you have to say about the game. Join me, Mark Istook, Glenn Strutch-Smith, and Rebecca Lopez for the Call-In Show, Monday mornings at 11:30.
Sponsored by Post Company.
North Texas, it's a hot one today. If you're planning on taking the pups out, make sure to protect their paws. That asphalt is going to be hot.
Thanks, Delkus. Thanks, Delkus.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
Discover WFAA Plus, a live 24-hour stream of WFAA news and exclusive digital content, all completely free. Now available on Apple TV, Roku, and Fire TV. Download WFAA Plus today.
Right now in Terrell and in Dallas, your heat index is 107. Everyone in McKinney is dead. It's hot in McKinney. We'll fix that probably.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
And now, the Texas de Brazil on fire player of the game.
Pretty salty debut for the Duncanville junior quarterback Max Denson. The touchdown pass here on the final play of the first quarter to Trenton Yancey, a 64-yard catch and run for the star junior wide receiver. Junior to junior, those two young men are going to play together for the next couple of years and do this a number of times over.
I was trying to wonder, is there any way that we can have a co-player of the game and include Trenton Yancey in this as well because of that magnificent catch that he made? But I'm just going to say it anyway. Max Denson, he did his thing. He came out here, he was calm and composed, made the throws when he needed to make them, and that's the way you shut down a game. He did exactly that. Man, no better vote for me than for Maximus the Great King Denson.
Just an all-time name. I love it. I'm such a big fan of that name, and I love the gumption of his parents 18 years ago, 17 years ago to say, we're naming our young man this because he's going to be greatness, and he came out and showed it tonight. 9-of-17, $133, 3 passing touchdowns, ran for another 89 yards as well in his very first varsity start. Prior to tonight, he had only thrown 4 varsity passes. Really, really impressive work from Maximus Denson tonight. Duncanville with a 35-28 win. Heckma Harrison, your final thoughts on a really good night of football between two fantastic teams.
I thought it was a gutsy performance. I think for your first game, you come to play a team that is red hot. South Oak Cliff, after beating North Shore, was riding high, and they brought that momentum here to Reginald Samples Field. Yeah. Look, nothing to hang your head about if you're South Oak Cliff, man. They got to feel really good about the performance that they had here tonight. Obviously, too little, too late. You had some miscues. You clean those up, boy, and you can take down giants anywhere if you're South Oak Cliff. On the other side for D-ville, man, it is talent all over the place. Yeah. And KJ Ford is the real deal.
You tied that up in a bow quite nicely, my man. We saw a really nice night of football tonight here on Friday Night Football. Next week here on Friday Night Football, Salina and Gunner, a pair of #1 ranked teams in the state, a pair of defending champions, and you can watch it right here on WFAA Plus and the WFAA YouTube channel. We will have, I am told, Friday Night Football 5th quarter tonight at 10:40 on WFAA Plus. It'll be a little bit weird because there's going to be games still going on, but we'll bring you as much as we can from all around the area as DeSoto North Crowley continues along, Highland Park Lovejoy, and many others trying to work their way through lightning delays. That is all coming your way here in 20 minutes time from right now here on WFAA Plus. For our entire Friday Night Football crew, who did a terrific job tonight working through an awful lot. Clay Marshall, our director, Graham Rayner and Cody Pryor, our photographers, our digital coordinators back in house, Zachary Giannis and Jay Wallace, Heckma Harrison alongside. I'm Mike Leslie. Thank you all so very much for being with us tonight here in Duncanville. The Panthers get a 35-28 win on Reginald Samples Field and start 2025 at 1-0. Good night, everybody.